That has made my life so much easier.
Yeah,
I suck at video editing.
Three classes.
Yeah, just like, okay, you line those up and you're all good.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wasted Potential number 16. Hope this video finds you all doing well. We are here in LA where we're once again inside, but we're in good company. Today I'm talking to one of my, I think, recently discovered favorite guitarists in Los Angeles.
Man, I appreciate it, man.
Mr. Sean Lee.
How's it going, guys?
What's your middle name?
I don't have a middle name.
What?
Sean is actually my English name. My Korean name is Gun, like the weapon.
Gun?
Yeah.
Does it have like a meaning in Korean or?
Like in Korean, like
Is that offensive to like?
no, dude. I don't
What
think
does your
so.
name mean? Yeah, like
I mean,
don't they have
answer.
meanings? I don't know.
If it didn't have a meaning, that'd be offensive. You know what I'm saying? But there is a meaning. No, like in Korean, like if you're giving a name, like your name is a syllable for another word.
Okay.
And gun is like a syllable in like this word that means like to build or some shit like that.
So it does
I don't really
have-
know too much about it, but
Yeah.
like all I know is like when you have a kid in Korea, like you take him to like your dad's dad. And then like your grandpa on your dad's side, and
Yeah.
like he has this whole fucking ceremony on like
he
Yeah.
does some kind of
I actually have a funny story about
sure.
how I got called Sean.
Yeah.
Maybe we start with that one.
Yeah,
right?
let's
Like,
start
is
there.
that pretty professional, right? Like good story, right?
entertain the people.
Yeah. So when my
If you were
parents-
looking for professionalism, you came to the wrong podcast.
well, when my parents first came to like America, we lived in San Francisco for a bit, right? We lived in
Yeah.
a little a shack in like a little ethnic
were
enclave.
you born here?
No, I was born in Korea.
Okay.
My pops came here first.
Do you ever have people ask you north or south?
Yeah, and I think it's a stupid question because if I
That's
was
the
born in
dumbest
North, why would I be here?
You're
you
not in
know?
America,
Yeah,
probably.
exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. And then I say that and they're like, oh, okay. Like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Really
fucking
sorry.
idiotic, dude. But yeah, like we came to America and like my mom, we lived in this little shack, right? And
Yeah.
a lot of hookers. That's like where they lived, right?
Oh, cool.
My mom told me that because she knew they were hookers because they would leave at like 11:30 p.m. wearing like fucking cheetah print and shit, right? And one time she was doing like the laundry in the fucking communal laundry room, and she had me. And there's a woman, like a streetwalker. She like came in. Are we allowed to call them hookers now? I guess they're like called like sex workers now. Like whatever, you know, we all know what we're
A
talking
hooker
about.
is my preferred. I mean,
I grew up
I don't
in
know
the-
why that would be bad.
I grew up in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
so-
exactly.
Yeah, like- but anyways, so like a hooker comes up and she's like, "Oh my god, like your son is so cute."
Yeah.
Like what's his name? My mom didn't speak a lot of English at the time.
Right.
She goes, he doesn't have a name because she hadn't given me a name yet, you know, because they were fucking moving here and
You
shit.
got your name from a hooker?
Yeah, and she goes, "He looks just like Sean Connery." And my mom's like, "Okay, his name's Sean." And like, I was named after fucking James Bond.
Oh
by a
my
hooker,
God.
dude! Isn't that an awesome story?
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's like, I love my name, man.
Also, no offense, I don't know if you look like Sean Connery.
Maybe when I was a kid, you know, yeah.
You look
Yeah,
a
the
little
bald head at least.
You,
yeah,
you look a little more Korean and you have more hair.
Yeah, this is true, dude.
Not facial hair. Can you grow a
Yeah.
beard?
No,
can
I tried during quarantine, and I get that weird like prepubescent like fuzz.
yeah.
I kind of have it right now, but
Yeah.
like it's just I just
Is
break
that as much
out.
as you get?
This is 2 weeks.
What?
Yeah, I have no body hair either. Like it's a genetic thing. Man.
Oh my
Like,
God, good for
yeah,
you.
yeah, I love it, man.
That's
I'm gonna
great.
I'm gonna look 12 until I'm 40. Isn't that a blessing?
And then
then I'm gonna look like I'm like 80. That's how Asians age. you
yeah,
know, like-
Asians age really well. Yeah, and then
until
you
a
just look
certain point,
distinguished.
exactly. And then like you're just like you either look good or you look like you're about to fucking die. You
Like,
know?
Grandpa's not doing good. Like,
Yeah,
oh, actually,
like-
he's not my grandpa. He's my dad.
Yeah, he just turned 50.
He's-
You know? That's the fucking cross. That's the fucking breaking point for that shit, man.
He's just been smoking since he was 13.
But you should have seen him when he was 13. Like he looked like that for like the next 10
He looked
years.
like he was
you know?
4. Dude, Asians smoke more than Americans, and they still live
Dude.
longer.
Yeah, Asians smoke more. They drink more.
Their diet's
it's
better.
just, diet's better for
Yeah.
sure. It's weird, man. Like I didn't know that I was an alcoholic until I realized that everyone in my family is an alcoholic. And then I was like, okay, it's got to be genetic.
Well,
you know?
the Chinese don't really drink that
No,
much.
they
do
don't.
Yeah.
Koreans like that's a big
They
part of
drink
like
a lot.
literally like
Yeah.
there's like a whole thing where like if you don't drink, like when I remember my dad when
It's
I was
considered offensive,
like, yeah,
isn't it? Yeah.
when I was 13, like in 8th grade, my
Yeah.
dad who like left, he came back into my life for a bit and he gave me like some fucking advice and he was like,
Nice.
this is me when I was 13, and he goes, Sean, if someone offers you a cigarette or a drink, you never say no. And I was 13. I'm like, damn, I'm fucking smoke a cigarette. Dude. Like, don't tell mom.
I'm
you
not
know,
old
like,
enough yet.
What's a cigarette? You know, like kind of that shit, you know? Like,
Yeah.
So like, I'm taking that to heart too. You know, I think this is like friend making or some shit.
Oh,
you
it
know? Like,
absolutely
yeah,
is.
It's
Well,
fucking
look,
good.
I'm of that opinion, and of course, I know people who are fucked up and shit on it. And
Yeah.
hey, for those people, bummer. Probably
Yeah,
don't take a drink. But for me, yeah, it is
Exactly,
If I'm
yeah.
offering you a drink, don't say no, man. I'm not
Exactly,
gonna say
dude.
no to you.
Yeah. Also, like, if I know you have a problem, I'm not gonna offer you a drink.
Right,
I'm not
exactly.
an asshole.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
like,
yeah. And
Maybe
if you
like,
s-
yeah.
If you say no, I have a problem. I'm like, oh, Jesus, okay. Like, would you like a soda water or whatever?
yeah. It's like, what else can I get you?
Whatever it is that you
Like
guys.
a virgin mimosa. Dude.
Yeah, some cocktail
OJ,
without
yeah,
the
like-
alcohol.
Shit, man, dude. Yeah, man.
Well, cheers.
Cheers,
man.
my friend.
Good to see you.
Seriously, man. It's been a few days.
Yes, it's been far too long. Only a few days.
Yes, sir.
So like I said, I do think you're probably one of my favorite guitarists in this city.
Oh man, dude.
And
As
that's-
someone who probably knows a lot of guitar players, I'm
do.
I'm honored, man. That's
you
a
really
good-
are,
it's a
and
really nice thing.
dude, I mean, I knew you were good and all that, and I knew you from, I think mostly Adobe House.
Yeah, we did Rob's like solo show.
Yeah,
that's kind of when
exactly.
we first
Yeah,
really met, I think.
Roberto Abalos,
Yeah.
Abalos probably is how you say it, more or less.
Del
And,
Raspado, dude.
Del Raspado,
Yeah.
Roberto Del Raspado, yeah. That was super fun. Dude, and then I kind of saw you play some stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's got chops.
Yeah.
And look, I don't even regard myself as like that great. I'm just kind of
selling
like,
yourself short in my
solid.
I
I'm
think you-
solid.
yeah.
But I'm not a lead guy. Like I see lead guys, I'm just like,
For sure.
and
Yeah.
I didn't see you do a whole lot of lead shit there. Though.
Yeah, no.
So I was like, okay, he's good. And then we went to this jam at Jasmine Tubies from. The band is called My Band. It's not My Band.
Which is also a genius name. By
It's
the
a
way.
hilarious
Yeah.
name. She's
So-
talking about changing
So
it.
what's your band's name? My Band.
My Band.
What
Yeah.
band? Yeah, your
She's
band.
talking about changing it.
Really?
I'm like, I
There's
understand.
a brand there.
But yeah,
I mean,
don't-
it's her thing, you know. She can do whatever she
don't
fucking
change
wants.
it. It's
Yeah,
funny.
but it's awesome.
Like, it's fucking
awesome,
funny,
man.
dude.
Yeah.
And like, we were over there some random summer day,
Yeah.
and you jumped on this Telecaster that someone brought.
Yeah. That was
And I
my
was-
Telecaster. I brought
Was that your
Yeah, I
Tele?
brought that shit.
Okay,
yeah.
so there was another one there, was there not?
There's a.
Or was it Strat?
Oh no, there wasn't. Like it was like a black Telecaster.
Was it?
The dude from
Yep, Eddie.
Yes.
Eddie
Exactly.
Eddie Immer. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
gearhead. He actually recommended to me a lot of my pedals.
Yeah. His Tele's fucking awesome too. by the
Yeah,
way.
and dude, I like sat there for like 10 minutes just being like, what? And then eventually I got on drums and we jammed and I was like,
Yeah.
motherfucker. Like,
Yeah, man. It's funny because like I've been itching to jam this
Yeah.
entire like Corona quarantine.
the good old lockdowns.
Corona-tine,
Yeah,
right?
Corona,
And, like, so,
Corona-tine
like-
2020.
Yeah, so like any fucking opportunity to do that was a lot of fun. I feel like I wasn't even gonna come to that because I was doing something earlier.
Right.
And like Robert, my friend Robert, who we're probably gonna refer to him a few more times.
Roberto,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. He was like, you should come in. It starts at 4. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be there at 4. Like
Yeah,
I'm fucking
that's-
doing shit till 6.
Nah.
And then I went. It was a blast, man.
It was
Like,
a great
awesome.
time. Yeah, it was
like,
a nice, it wasn't too big.
I didn't
wasn't too
recognize you with
small.
your haircut. I
the
was like, who
fucking
the fuck is
haircut.
this guy?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, it's Ben. I fucking.
That's
I
now
saw
I'm
him.
taking out the trucker hat.
Yeah.
You know, the asshole up
It looks
here.
good though. Man.
It's not bad. It's I had a picture with it or something. Somebody sent me a message. They're like,
Yeah.
"You look very Michigan." I'm like, "Fucking A, dude. You should see me when I chew tobacco."
I know,
It's even worse.
seriously, dude. Chew tobacco, fucking
Terrible.
Drink torpedoes. man.
Backwoods, yeah,
Yeah, backwoods, dude. Dude, backwoods are. People don't realize how scummy backwoods are.
Very.
Yeah, it's.
Have you ever met
disgusting.
one of their representatives in a smoke shop?
Yeah,
That's
so
all
they,
you
and they
need
give
to
you
know.
the T-shirt. And the
Yeah.
fucking
Want to
mug
sign
or
up for our mailing list? And no,
Yeah,
man.
and they give you
I
a
don't-
shot glass with backwood on it. You're, like,
Yeah.
you're not even selling alcohol. Like,
I'm
what
not
the fuck
interested
is,
in
yeah,
this.
it's fucking like. Don't sell that shit.
Well, okay. So, can you tell
man.
me first off what was the Adobe House thing? Because here's my recollection.
sure.
I don't know. I think someone told me it was kind of like a collective. You guys
Yeah.
were all musicians, pretty
Yeah,
much,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
You had a huge house down near
In South Central area, like
yeah,
USC area.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
And you had this little back house that has a studio in it,
Mm-hmm.
and bunch of fucking musicians. The only time I've really been there was to practice and to play that show
Yeah.
with Rob.
Yeah, yeah.
But man, it was great, and you guys seemed like you had a good thing going, and then shit kind of
shit
hit
hit-
the fan
yeah.
a little bit, but yeah.
So like Adobe House is it was a rap collective started in Tucson.
Okay, yeah.
So like I had my only involvement really until kind of later was
Yeah.
I have this friend John from kindergarten,
Yeah.
and he went to U of A, which is in Arizona,
Yeah.
Tucson, and he is always into shooting music videos, right? And
Yeah.
he discovered these.
I was just out
guys-
in Tempe a few
yeah.
months ago.
Oh man, Arizona sucks. I hate
Yeah.
Arizona. Yeah, it's
I'm
like
kind of on board with that.
yeah, I was like thinking about it. I remember when I first went to Tucson, I was like, this is kind of like Baghdad. And I've never been to Baghdad, but I was like thinking about that shit.
Just a
like,
desert shithole.
Yeah,
Like, why
dude.
are you guys here?
so hot.
Like-
Everyone's just drinking and partying, dude. But yeah, it's ridiculous. But like, so like, pretty much everyone there apparently, like, unless you do fucking meth or like, you go
Yeah.
to school and you fucking go into music, right? And
Yeah.
hip hop's huge there
Yeah.
because it tends to be in suburban areas, right?
Right.
And they started this little rap collective, and it was really good because they not only had rappers, which is like fucking 40% of whatever you need. Everyone's a
Right.
rapper, right? But they
Right.
had a fucking team of like graphic artists, video
That
people.
shit
and
is
that's
awesome, man.
That's
That's key.
fucking
That's key.
And the kind of the key members, including my friend John, were like, we want to move to LA and we want to try to make it out here, because like,
Yeah.
I think we got a really good thing going here. And the videos are awesome,
Yeah.
And when I just graduated, and like I was either gonna.
Well, and for the
fucking-
record, for anyone who doesn't know, you didn't go to University of Arizona, did
No.
you?
I went to UCLA.
You went to UCLA?
Yeah. So I was in LA still, right?
Not
And-
for music.
No. I
Okay.
was something else. Right?
Studying other shit.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
I stayed in contact. That's my best friend from kindergarten.
Yeah.
You got to stay in contact, bro.
Right, no,
and he'll
absolutely.
come through and we'll hang and shit.
Yeah.
And he told me eventually, he was like, "Hey, man, like we're gonna come out to LA. We found this house on Craigslist.
Yeah.
that is huge.
Yeah.
You can pay $500 a month and have like a room in LA, which is like a mile from the expo line. Like you can, it's a great
Such a
stitch, right?
stupid
So I'm
deal.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
that's-
yeah, I'm fucking on that shit. And like, yeah, and we fucking, and what we realized was, because I used to throw house shows in college, like,
Yeah.
and it was in apartments, right? So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like, and it was kind of weird because like I moved in and then like I was putting out an album.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I want to do a house show. And they're like,
Yeah.
what's that? Because they don't have house shows in Arizona. Dude.
Yeah,
They don't do
right.
that shit. They just fucking drink till the night
They-
ends. Yeah, they just party for no reason.
So
like,
I went to Michigan State, which is ranked behind University of Arizona as one of the biggest party schools
Okay.
in the nation. So like right behind, and I think U of A is the biggest one, which is
Yeah.
no surprise if you've ever met anybody from
U of A is. There's a Family Guy episode where Peter gets really smart, and then to get him stupid again,
Yep,
they send him
they-
to U
they
of A.
send him to
yeah,
U of A.
exactly,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah. But yeah, man, like I went on my friend John's 21st birthday. Me and my friend took a train down there,
Yeah.
right? And we got there at 10 a.m. Started drinking then. Went to 3 parties that day, and like it was, and I was like, I can't do this. I'm gonna die. And this is just the weekend for them, Like I was like,
Yep.
I'm fucking in pain.
Yeah.
Like physical pain. Like I'm hungover at fucking.
I don't
want to
do this anymore. This isn't fun.
Can we just have a normal night in, order some Chinese? Or
what if we
something,
just
you
smoke
know?
some weed and
Yeah,
eat
you're like,
some
no, fuck
pizza?
that. Oh, we're gonna do that, but we're gonna also do.
Yeah,
all
we're
this
also
shit.
gonna be hammered.
Yeah, but so we started throwing shows, and like because of the area that we were in,
Yeah.
it kind of started getting popping, right? And,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was really fucking organic. Like we literally went to USC, put up flyers
That's
on the
awesome.
fucking wall. We went around, we put up flyers. We didn't use social media because like they're from Arizona. There's no fucking like.
Yeah.
Like we have no audience
Yeah.
whatsoever, really. And they were all working on music, but like they had been like pretty much in kind of a group for like the past 5 years.
Right.
So they were kind of infighting, and there was a lot of politics going on. So not all of them fucked with each other.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the gigs or the fucking shows became kind of like a let's kind of air everything out and like
okay.
yeah, and then
Well, that's not. I mean, is that a bad thing?
no,
Like,
it
it's-
was just a kind of a shift in mentality, right? 'Cause,
Yeah,
like if you
right.
talk to my friend John, like his like different people had different goals, but his thing was like I want to make Adobe like a multimedia kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Shut up, cat.
Come here. For
She
those
will.
who aren't, seeing, there's a beautiful cat off camera.
She's been on many episodes.
Oh yeah, all right,
She's-
for sure.
She'll be fickle.
Oh, Faye.
Yeah, poor Faye.
Yeah, man. But
The door's open over there. What?
dude, but
whatever.
she wants to hang.
Yeah,
That's the whole
she's-
thing.
she's
Yeah,
like,
she loves the peas. man.
Hear me. Well, I mean, John, the drummer.
No, John is like I don't know if you saw him. He's black. He has dreads. He works at Pershing Square as like a fucking videographer.
Would I have met him when?
You probably met him.
I feel like I
You
did.
probably met him a few times,
Yeah.
but like he's also like very quiet. He doesn't like
Yeah.
because like it kind of got to a point we were doing shows 2 days every weekend,
Yeah,
right? So like
right.
the parties, like I would go to work or go to a gig, come home and there'd be a party. I'm like, I don't really fuck with any of these people, so I'm not gonna
Yeah.
party, and like
Yeah.
so it got old. There's a lot of trash.
Well, that's the tough thing about a party house. I mean, having gone to Michigan State and partying a lot there, like
yeah.
I actually this place was kind of this. What are you doing? Probably fucking with a cat on the other side of the door. This apartment,
Yeah.
was a party pad for a long time
Okay.
before everything locked down and
Uh-huh.
whatnot, and we've just had stupid amounts of people till 10
Yeah.
in the morning.
Dude, the big thing that people don't realize is trash.
Dude, it's the
Trash.
cleanup.
Yeah,
It's all the cleanup,
it's
man.
Nothing more than that, man.
Yeah, and like, hey, I can deal with like my friends or these random strangers at my place pissing off my neighbors at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta clean your puke off my
Exactly.
fucking carpet.
Exactly.
Like,
and at a
dude,
certain point, it became kind of a
psychologically,
chore.
it's just
Yeah.
like,
Like, have I stooped so low that I'm fucking cleaning the stranger's puke off? Like, I should have made him do it, you know?
I've puked on floors before too, but I offer to clean it up if I puke
This
on a floor.
is like
Damn
a
it.
great house for a party.
It
though.
really
like,
is.
I was looking
Yeah.
at it, I'm like, God, man, it was
We'll
like
do
a
it
year
again.
earlier, you know?
We'll do it again
yeah,
soon.
It'll happen eventually.
We're gonna do it. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But well, cool. I mean, so it disintegrated kind of because of one reason or another, and that's a bummer. So now you're in a place where you're kind of more. Were you as focused on guitar when you were living in that environment?
Yeah,
as you are now?
yeah. I was. So it's funny because like I was freelance musicianing for the past like better part of the past 3 years, right?
Okay.
Like, and like I was.
Has that
fucking-
been your? That's been your like.
Yeah, that's what I
income?
want to do. Yeah,
okay.
exactly. Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. I was. I mean, once in a while I'd work an odd job for a few months here and there, but like for the most part, that was my source of
That's it.
income. You know,
Yeah.
it's been awesome. Like blessed, you know, to do that. You know,
very much so.
Not
Yeah.
a lot of people are, and like.
Well,
I
you're
know
a fucking
that.
workhorse, though, man. Look at you
Yeah.
play guitar, and you can tell you put the time in.
Yeah, it's. Dude, thank you. That's like
Yeah.
the one thing I'm like, when people come up to me and they're like, "How do you do?" I'm like, "It's just a lot of hours.
Dude.
You know, it's not a big thing. Just fucking sit with it for a
Cracks me
few
the
hours."
hell up when people ask
Yeah.
that question.
It's not a
man.
fucking miracle. You
How
know?
did you? Hey, the whiskey, and also my girlfriend. Want to be on the podcast?
Come
Or
say
you can just
hi.
hand that to me.
I should no longer be going to their house because it's just let's hit on Jessica now.
Thank you.
You look
Oh,
good. It's a
no.
compliment.
Yeah,
Thank you.
the older gentleman in the Trump 2020 had a real good time.
Hey, man.
Well,
Couldn't get any worse, you know. Well, maybe it could, you know. I don't really know, you know.
probably could. All right,
Yeah.
let's imbibe in some whiskey.
Oh,
my
please. man.
friend. Yeah. So I mean, that's what's funny, man.
Dude, let me
is-
show you what Korean zebra. Like, if you pour me one, let me pour you one, man.
You have to pour me one.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is, man. It's
I
like-
pour you one, and you pour
Yeah,
me
it's
one.
like mutual respect, right?
Really?
It's like, yeah, there's nothing more than that,
I fucking love that.
right? Boom.
Oh,
Now we're good, you know.
lovely. All right,
Now
now
we're on
we're
the same page.
now we're friends.
Yeah, now we're friends. Or
Salute.
enemies, you know.
What does it say? Keep your friends close, your enemies closer. So you're very close to me, apparently.
Oh yeah, all right. But yeah, it's actually funny because Rob's show was the last show we threw.
That's
Ever.
such a bummer because I was thoroughly fucking impressed with that show, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about Adobe House. Rob was just like, my homies do this shit down here.
Yeah.
I came for a practice or two, and I was like, this place is dope.
It's a
but,
good
like,
spot for it.
Yeah, and it definitely has it's got the yard, it's got the deck.
Exactly.
But man, the night of that show, I was like, how many fucking people are here?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah,
many
yeah.
people.
I mean, that's also a testament to the musicians that were there, but it's
For
also
sure.
like that was a spot.
yeah,
like,
but
that
you
people were
guys
coming to.
cultivated the fucking
Yeah.
crowd, you know?
And you know what kind of bothered me about the whole thing is like no one ever said thank you.
Yeah.
Like not a but then again, you don't do it for that, right?
I guess, but
But it'd be nice to just hear like, hey man, like because there's a lot of artists we put on that like didn't
yep.
like if they played a venue, they
Yep.
wouldn't get that audience.
Oh,
you know?
of course.
So it's like
none of the musicians said thank you. That's what you mean.
no, yeah, exactly. They
weird.
couldn't like
Yeah.
stab me up or something. Like
Yeah.
I'm not expecting anything, you know, incredible.
I got you on a podcast. That's my thank you.
Hey, dude.
No, well, I mean, shit. If I was overdue to say that, then man, that was incredible, man. I mean, I didn't really understand who was running what, I guess, but I mean, it was amazing to see, and I told many people that I didn't talk to you much when I was there. I don't think.
Yeah.
I talked to you a little bit.
We're kind of
yeah.
on like let's learn these songs. Like it's a different thing.
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
right. I
Yeah,
showed
yeah,
up to
yeah.
learn some songs, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, it was
Like,
really
we were
cool.
on hire. We were like getting hired for that
Yeah.
pretty much in a weird way, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and hey, I'm happy. I told Rob too. I was like, dude, you should film this.
Mm-hmm.
You should record the audio. And he got some of the audio, but I was like, man, look, just hold my phone up. Just have someone hold my phone.
Yeah.
And he's like, whatever. I'm like, dude, just.
It's not a big thing to ask.
It's
yeah.
epic. Also, dude, look at all these people.
Yeah.
You just had a bunch of people come up and link arms and sing the stupid. What was the one?
Yeah, fucking
The Spanish
the
one.
Spanish one. Yeah, I know.
The one I
Fucking
can't
two
sing.
drunk
So-
hostesses.
I know.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
two drunk hostesses. And I got like an acoustic backstage version of them working out the harmonies and
Yeah.
stuff. And it's like, dude, man, whether or not you think so, you are capturing kind of a moment in history. Like, I do still have that video. I should send it to you.
Please.
Because it was your house.
I've been asking Rob for like, do you have any videos from that?
I think I still got some.
Yeah.
Let me
yeah.
look when we're done.
Hey, dude, that was a
Yeah.
great night. That was
It
really,
really
like
was.
a beautiful, beautiful
Yeah.
night. Like,
So after that, you go, okay, now I got to find my own place to live. Now you're on your own.
yeah.
Coronavirus hits, of course, and
Yeah.
that's impossible to deal
Yeah.
with. But that's what we were talking about is how it is whenever people come up and go, how did you get so good at that?
Yeah.
You go, well, I wasn't just born this way.
Exactly.
As it turns out, I'm insane. See, I turned off my Wi-Fi. I got off all of these things, and I sat there
Yeah.
for 8 straight hours a day
No,
for years.
Literally, man.
Yeah.
Like it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, you probably know too, man. Like it's like when you get that bug,
Yep.
you're obsessed.
Can't stop.
Like, yeah, it's like irrational to the certain point, you know?
It
Like
is
I
completely
remember
irrational.
like I remember like it, well, let's talk about right now, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't have Wi-Fi in my new place and I don't want it
Yeah.
because all I do is read, which I'm trying to read more and that's a personal thing, but all I do besides that is play guitar, you know?
Yeah,
Like
right.
and I've noticed like people always talk about ruts, right?
Yeah.
And like they're like, "Oh, I'm in a rut, I'm not getting better," you know? And I'm
Yep.
like that's cuz you're just constantly distracted,
you're not
you
trying.
know? Like
You're
yeah,
not
yeah,
trying,
you just
dude.
need to like
No, it's true.
just
And-
get into it, you know?
well, and
Like,
I've thought about that with like writer's block and stuff like that because I'm
Yeah.
mostly a songwriter.
yeah.
And when I get to it, because it happens, you know, you
course.
get to a point where, hey, look, there are some days too, for most of quarantine, I was like, all right, at least an hour or two a day of guitar for me.
Yeah.
And guitar is not my only thing, so I
Yeah.
have to do other things too. But I want to make sure, because to be honest, I want to play with the big boys. I know I have the ear. I know I have the ability. It's
Yeah.
just I don't put in the time, you know? So it's like, okay, do that. And there are times when you're doing that where you're just like, I don't want to be fucking doing this.
Yeah.
I want to do anything
Most
else.
times, man, honestly,
Exactly,
yeah.
dude.
It's
That's
the discipline,
It's like,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
this is a joy. I love music and I love
Yeah.
guitar, but like, dude, 3 straight hours of like that's pretty boring.
Yeah,
like,
it's
and
also
repetitive.
like I don't want to do this. Like I can do doing anything.
man, and you're
else.
listening to the one. You're just like, why does it keep buzzing when I do this one fret? And so you have to.
Yeah.
It requires so much focus to improve and get better, which is why I really respect the fuck out of guys like you, because guys like you were saying. So you came to our studio, which is getting built, you know.
Yeah.
But you
The
came.
studio was when the space that I was in previously.
Yeah,
you know, but on a
yeah.
Whole
Who
different.
Were,
whole
who were you
different-
there with again?
Dude,
UFO
I was-
Factory or some
okay,
shit?
so UFO
So
there-
hold on, really quick.
Yeah.
For the background, this is a new rehearsal studio that I've moved into, Venice somewhere, and we had him over with Rob actually and a couple other people just to jam and have fun. And as soon as he walked in, he was just like, I used to rehearse here. I'm like,
Yeah.
fucker, what? Because
Dude.
the dude we rent from has had that place for like 20 years.
Yeah, we were renting from a sketchy dude. I don't know if it's the same dude. But he's
Probably
like,
him.
Yeah, he like never. I've never met him in my life.
I've never met him.
Yeah, he just like.
No, I've never met him.
To me, he doesn't exist.
Do you know his name?
No, I don't know his name,
Okay.
dude.
I do, but I won't
it-
say it on here.
Okay. So we'll keep the anonymity, dude. Yeah, I used to, when I was in college, I, through some weird means, got a guitar gig
Yeah.
to play for this kid who lived in fucking Beverly Hills. He
Right.
wrote a few songs. And UFO Therapy was like the label that was putting out their bands.
UFO
like,
Therapy?
yeah.
Okay.
That's what they're,
I thought it was UFO Factory for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I when I started rehearsing there,
Yeah.
there was a sticker on the front door that said UFO Therapy. Apparently.
yeah. So UFO Factory, which you probably did see that, is like kind of like their brand, what they're putting out. But
Oh.
UFO Therapy is like their actual, I don't know why you would kind of separate the two.
Switch the names.
Yeah, it's
weird.
a little odd, kind of off-brand shit.
Whatever.
Yeah, but you know, fucking people are crazy.
I mean, that's
Like,
fucking awesome, dude. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
well, and that's one thing I know. Like you were saying when we were jamming, you're just like, oh, I don't usually do the rock thing and the blues thing, and
Yeah.
I'm like. Shut the fuck up, asshole. Like, yeah, apparently you do, because you just
I mean,
ripped
I
it
love
the
it, man.
fuck
Like,
up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I would
It's-
love to get you into more of that shit, because I am, of course, a rock guy.
Yeah, man. Like, but
which
yeah, it's
you will be coming back there to
I'm
play
I'm there
loud.
whenever, man. Because
But it's impressive to have the ability to do, like, you know some jazz theory, you know some very interesting. I like the way you improv
Yeah.
because you can follow the blues scales just fine and whatever rock shit's going on.
Yeah,
but you can
yeah.
also throw in these like, hey, you
The
know, and
weird-
it's like, oh man,
follow the
that's-
changes a little bit.
it's
more.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a hell of a skill to get.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up loving the blues, right?
I don't love the way you bend, but otherwise,
Well, you can't even hurt my feelings at this point, man. Like, but yeah, yeah, I grew up listening to the blues, and like when I was first playing guitar, I feel like everyone kind of, you have to, right? That's kind of the
Yeah.
foundation, right? But like,
yeah, right.
But then I got into jazz, and like,
How hard is 1-4-5 though? You know, like
1-4-5 is easy,
yeah.
but getting like, there's so many different ways you can get to
Yeah.
1-4, and
That's true.
Blah, 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 but that's
Yeah.
like we can
Yeah.
get into the jargon later, right? But it's like
I got nothing but time.
Yeah, I know, right? Seriously, 2 hours, dude. I mean, these things are fucking long, right? But it's weird because like when I started studying jazz kind of more seriously, people were telling me like people like B.B. King, like the blues artists that I love,
Yeah.
were kind of elementary players, you know, like that's for the fucking beginners, right? And I get
All right,
it. I get it.
Let's see you bend
Exactly.
like BB King.
No,
bends.
literally,
Yeah.
because it came to a certain point where I was like, I'm playing with these jazz guys, but they can't even fucking like. What's the point of playing giant steps in 12 keys if you can't play fucking like a Bruno Mars bass line?
Well,
you know,
and
like,
that's the bizarre thing, and this is why I really like you as a guitarist, is because I noticed you understand the theory or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know
Or whatever it might
necessarily
be.
your
Yeah,
background,
yeah.
but you do seem to understand like, hey, look, I could put a half step here. That's going to be an accidental. That's going to fit right. Like, there's a lot that goes into that, but you also understand, you know, this kind of bend. It's not. I don't know how you feel about this. I was always fascinated by the concept of timbre.
yeah,
Because it's just some theorist came up with a word to describe everything we can't describe.
yeah. It's like, oh, it's just it's a tone. What does that mean? Like,
The feel and the tone.
like, but it's weird because you say tone and everyone knows what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Like,
And-
so it's like a universal term.
well,
in a certain
and
way,
timbre
dude.
is the one to me that just describes again all the things we can't put into theory or like look. The BB King. One of the first things about BB King that really stuck out to me as a guitarist. Was he does these things, and it's awesome when he's soloing. He does the slide that just kind of goes up the neck and stops magically in the exact right place. And it's the feel is just like, and you can see when you watch him play live, he does.
He knows what he's doing. But like it's weird because like there's a video that
Try replicating that though. It's not
people
easy.
don't talk about BB like enough. Like there's a video.
BB's one of my original favorites.
Me too. It still is. I listen to Live at the Regal like religiously. dude.
Yeah,
That's like my
man.
Bible, man. Like fucking How Blues Can You Get? Like I bought her a brand new Ford. She said she wanted a Cadillac.
Is he
come on,
sitting in a
dude.
chair in that one?
No, that's him. Like
He's standing
young.
up.
That's
Nice.
yeah. That's when before the gut.
He doesn't
you
have
know?
the gut.
Yeah, that's before the gut.
I love
That's
that.
when he
He's
can
just
still
like
tuck his pants
he's
up,
like
you know?
I'm so good. I'm just fucking sitting
Yeah.
in a chair for the rest of my life.
Dude,
Like,
it's
okay.
crazy because like I had tickets to go see him at the Staples Center, and he
Yeah.
passed away like 3 months before that, and
Oh.
it was a bummer because I was excited to see him. But, you know, shit happens, right?
Yeah.
But there's a video where it's like an English TV show, and,
Yeah.
they ask him like, hey, can you show us how to play like Django Reinhardt? Can you show us how to play Charlie Christian?
Wow.
And he can do everything.
Yeah.
But he's like, but I don't do that. You know, that's not
But
my thing.
that's not my thing.
Exactly. And it's
Yeah.
like, how badass is that? Like
That's blues to a T, basically.
Yeah, that's
You know,
like
it's a,
fucking,
hey
like-
man, I can do it, but it's not my thing.
that's like when like Eminem is like, I can do the Migos thing, but I choose not to. You
Yep.
know? Or like
Yep.
fucking anybody else.
Well,
you know?
also,
like,
it's not the skill he cultivated. What he's
Exactly.
He's not making money and making an impact on music by doing what some other asshole did.
yeah, there's no
you know?
point. You
Yeah.
know, like it's like
He
it's
plays
his
like
bread
he
and butter.
plays.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And also, like the good thing about knowing, and this is like I do, you know, I have discussions, if you will, arguments, whatever, with a lot of people because I'm friends with a lot of people who come from an academic background
Yeah.
musically, and I'm friends with a lot of people who, like me, hacked it together,
Yeah.
learned what you could,
Yeah.
learned by ear, basically,
Exactly.
you know, learned by feel or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I think like it's just a different way of approaching music, but the best musicians I've met understand the theory, and they also understand that the theory doesn't necessarily also apply, and it is a guideline, but it's not necessarily concrete rules. And
No
the
way,
most boring musicians I meet are the ones who only adhere to theory
Yeah.
and go, no, that note doesn't fit there. It's like, well, really, my ear really likes it going there.
Yeah.
So why are you saying it doesn't fit? Well, you know, something about the fifth and the you're like,
And who does that serve ultimately?
Yeah.
Like what did okay, cool, you know, like
Yeah.
good job, you
Yeah.
know, like I guess you know it, you know. But it's also like theory is also like it's metacognition, right? It's like
Yes.
you should know what you're doing.
You should.
But that being said,
Yeah.
like what you're doing should be free flowing all times.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's
Yeah.
like dude, like I think your songs are incredible.
Thank you.
I doubt that like you're sitting down and being like, oh, well, I'm gonna go to the 5 here. You know, like it's not really what's going on.
well, you underestimate me, my friend. I'm
Oh, yeah,
constantly. Of course,
Oh,
I'm
go
not
to the
doing
five.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
but you
course,
know what
you're
I'm
right.
saying, like,
You're
it's
right. Yeah, yeah. No, of course I'm not doing
And like,
that.
are you gonna like? Am I gonna be the guy that's like, well, he doesn't really like know what he's talking about? you know?
That's not how you.
Yeah,
do
the song's
that.
in 4/4. I don't really like that, you know?
That's not
Dude,
my thing.
the best
Common
thing that-
time. Who can't?
Yeah,
do
the
that?
best thing that happened in my life is when I stopped listening to odd time signatures. When I stopped listening to music in that signature. And it's
Well, so okay, so do you
Yeah.
come from? Because I found this. Not to cut you off.
yeah, no, you're good.
Okay. Do you come from? So I found something interesting. Some people come from the academic background and they start listening to shit like this stuff I make, which they're just like, "What is that?" And then they get into it and they're like, "Oh, this
Yeah.
is a whole new world." You know, it's
Yeah.
it's entirely primal. It's very
Yeah.
feel. And then some people come from my background, and this is what I've been doing more of lately. They come from my background, and then I walked into Connor Spillane.
Yeah.
Um,
Shouts out Connor.
shout out to Connor
He's gonna
Spillane.
teach you some lessons on Tuesday. You know.
Yeah.
Just give me
you're
a
gonna-
week. You know. I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
fucking shred
teach
it
him
up.
too.
Yeah, dude. We're-
I talked to him, and I've been practicing different modes and shit.
Yeah.
And I told you this the other day.
yeah.
but I was like, dude, I just figured out the Mixolydian to blues scale switch.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, I call that like the BB King thing. I'm like, yeah, me too. Until I figured out that
guess.
like, yeah, it's not really. But like, whoever he said, I was just like, yeah, but like this is like my ear has always known that.
Yeah.
But I've never been able to articulate what it is, which means I
Yeah.
can't necessarily always consciously apply it.
For sure.
So what I love is when musicians have a nice amount of both, and that really is where I feel like your guitar playing is at. Is you got the feel, but you're also bringing in like you can easily modulate between modes and scales and keys and all that.
I mean, I have chops because I like to play a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's not vice versa. It's not like because I have chops I'm going to play. It's like
right.
I'm a listener first. I'm not a
Yeah.
Before I was
Yeah.
a musician, like
Yeah.
I was fucking like
Well, you can tell from
I was
jamming
obsessed
with
that
you.
shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I'm like for example, like I can make up a melody in my head, like
Yes.
whatever that shit was, right?
Yeah. That's the ice cream truck.
Play it. You know?
Yeah.
Right, and that's like where the only thing you need to know about any music or theory or whatever you want to think about, in my opinion, is like you should be able to translate what's in your head. It's like when T.S. Eliot in Profrog is like, that's not what I meant. It's like a failure of language, right?
One of the best fucking poems ever written.
Little odd reference there, but
no, that's a great reference. I wrote a couple essays on that one in college.
But it's like when you hear something in your head and you're not able to translate that completely, you get frustrated.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
But then if you have the tools in your toolbox to do whatever melody comes in your head, then you're good, you know? Like,
who am I to tell you, like, here's the weird thing when I come up against, like, especially, like, Berkeley students.
Yeah.
And, you know, the more technical, and actually, I don't even think Berkeley students are technical. I think they're fucking
they drop
churned
fucking
out by
$50,000 a year for
dumbass
nothing,
machine.
dude.
Yeah, way to waste your money, dude.
Seriously.
Hey, you wasted your money in the same way I wasted mine on my college education.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we're in the same
we're
boat.
all in it, yeah,
Just don't
exactly.
think you're better than me, which you usually fucking
No,
do.
dude,
Like-
I've met music school students who are fucking jabronis, bro. Like they have no idea what they're. That's one of my favorite. Like they're just dumbasses,
Just
bro. Jabronis, bro.
jabronis.
Straight jabronis,
I love
bro.
that word.
Yeah, fucking jabronis, bro. But like, and then I met people outside of music that like, or music school, I guess, that are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Man. Like they're fucking pure and like.
Yep.
And then you also think about like the greats, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, they didn't go to fucking music school.
They don't.
You know? Yeah.
Well,
they
I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, so are you a Zappa fan at all? No.
no,
I'm gonna show you some shit that you'll like.
That's,
I will.
That's usually the answer I get when I say that.
Have you listened to a lot of them?
I have listened to a lot of Zappa. Yeah.
Shit. All right, I'll show you some more.
Okay, for sure.
But either way, so Zappa is notoriously technically minded. He's very good with it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he was in the same time as Hendrix and Dylan and all those people.
Yeah.
So he actually approached Hendrix at some point and was like, yo, man, it would be really dope to get your shit down in theory and write some classical shit with you. And Hendrix was like, nah, man, that ain't it.
Yeah, I'm good, dude. I'm good on that, bro.
And it's like, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
Hendrix isn't taking what a bunch of fucking assholes wrote down on paper and playing it. He's making stuff, and a bunch of fucking assholes are trying to write it down on paper and devise a system to explain what it is that he's doing.
Yeah, that's like with Eddie Van Halen, right?
Yes,
When Eddie Van Halen came on the scene, people who were transcribing in college did not know how to transcribe that shit.
Yeah.
That's why they invented tabs.
Exactly.
Which is like,
exactly.
holy shit, you know?
Exactly.
And this is just a kid in Pasadena who like fucking like just sat in his room and just played, you know, like,
Played
and he liked
12
fucking,
hours a day, man.
He liked Steve Hackett from Genesis and he liked Jimmy Page, you know, like, and it's like
Absolutely.
fucking an incredible, like, it's like, you're gonna knock, like, just because you went to music school, are you Van Halen? Hell no, bro,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, well, you know what? I think when these people find out that they're $250,000 in debt, they got to have something to show for it. So all they got is, you don't know the blah-blah-blah scale.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, right, whatever. Anyway, how's your debt, dude? Nice
Yeah,
Prius.
dude. And it's also weird because like you put a music school kid in like a jam. I don't want to hear that,
Bro,
shit,
they
dude,
can't
for the most
jam.
part.
What the hell is up with that?
It's weird, bro.
You tell me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you know a little more theory than I do.
Yeah.
And like, dude, that is the weirdest. So the one thing that I know about myself musically is my feel is pretty good.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm not
Dude,
the
that's
most-
like selling yourself short, a little bit short there, in my opinion. But
I
I digress.
I
you know?
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
Okay.
But one of my strengths, what I mean, is feel. And so it's like, okay, I can jump in on a jam and hey, it feels good. Like, am I playing the most technical shit? No, but it goes leagues above a lot of people who can play more technical shit. And the feel is just like, dude, this is like a stale fucking old piece of bread that I'm biting into. Like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, you got it right, but like, man, you're just smacking the downbeats and like, it's what? Where's the bounce? Where's the soul?
Exactly.
So for me, man, like, I am amazed that you would pay that much money to get that kind of an education about music, and when you come out, when you sit in on a jam session, dude, the number of these people I've jammed with in sessions for money and just in informal sessions, who stop a jam and go, no, that's not right.
Does that actually happen to you?
Yes.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's like, what? Who said you're the one dictating the fucking chords?
We're also making music. Like, isn't that kind of what we're trying to do?
Man, like
another
probably
goal?
like the one thing you don't want to do when you're having sex is stop and go, no, I don't like that.
You need to
Can
put
we-"
your legs up this way.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. It's like, okay, well, my boner's dead and your pussy's dry. There we go.
thanks,
Like,
dude. Yeah, like, now what? You know, put on Adventure Time.
let's
dude.
have exactly. Let's have fun trying to get back into the mood.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
Insane to me,
It's
dude.
like there's a lot of cognitive dissonance, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people go to school think that because they go to music school, they're now in the scene.
Yeah, right.
And then you jump in the scene, you realize there's people here that have been doing this shit for fucking years beyond you.
Yep.
And you need to shut up, young buck, and fucking like sit back a little
Sit
bit.
back.
Right? Yeah.
Sit back.
Like it's I've been lucky. I was lucky in college where like I didn't go to music school, but like I played for.
What'd you study, by the way?
I studied English literature.
Okay.
I like books. You know,
I'm an avid reader. So
yeah, so like I thought
we
like
could probably find plenty of common ground.
yeah, and I got like I got a grant to.
Oh,
go to
really?
school. Yeah,
Good for you,
I got
man.
lucky, so
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna study what I love. You know
Awesome.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird because like I got lucky because I got to play with a lot of the people there, and like I exposed to various people and shit, and like
Yeah.
it led to one thing or another. But it's weird because like I go to these fucking like, and so now I go meet some older musicians, and
Yeah.
like, dude. Even they say like, oh, you're listening. Like I'll show them music and they'll be, oh, that's what I used to listen to when I was like 22. You know, like, oh, cool hits. You know, like cool fucking time signatures, dude. By the way, this is what's really real. You know,
Okay.
like a guitar player I like really like in the scene is Blake Mills. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I know Blake Mills, yeah.
And Blake can play everything.
Yep.
You know, but he's playing Sarah Bareilles tunes,
Yep.
bro. He's playing fucking on the John Legend albums, bro. And like, and he's playing to the song, right? Like,
You know what he's also doing? Making money.
exactly, dude. There's not a single, exactly, bro. Like, there's not a single session I've been to in my life, and I've done like hundreds of sessions where like they're like, yeah, I just need you to like play fucking like super low cream mode for like a little bit, and then
Yeah.
fucking. It's like,
Yeah.
no, dude. Like you play the fucking changes in a little cool way, or
Yep.
like you bring something to the table that's
Yep.
a little bit different, but you do what they
100%.
tell you to do, right?
100%.
Yeah. So it's like, honestly, like music school kids just need to. Once you leave school, you're in the world. You just need to fucking grow up a little bit.
Were
you
we
know?
so were we talking about this the other day, or was I talking with somebody else? Stop me if
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
I was saying basically like what asshole is this?
Oh no.
Oh, I actually mentioned you earlier. You should come say hi.
Dude,
Will!
Stop the pod.
Well, everyone's here. Come over here. Come say hi.
What's up, man? I don't
Just
think I've
don't
ever
s-
met you before.
Don't
man.
step on the cords.
But Sean, man, nice to meet you.
Well, there's no cords, actually.
How's it going,
We're
Will?
filming from the
Nice to meet you.
perspective of God.
Yeah.
What's happening, man? Sorry.
Yeah.
That's just like
The entire Karma Vulture band is here. Okay, now go
Shouts
away. I
out-
got 10 more
shouts out
minutes
Karma
before I
Vulture.
take a break.
Yeah.
um,
We're talking about music school for a bit.
good on
Music
you
school
for
kids.
remembering, because I don't.
That's all I fucking. I don't know what
well-
exactly we're talking about.
Yeah, it's just strange, man. It's
Yeah.
odd to me that, like, look, and I'm not even. I think the counter to what I'm saying, or maybe even some of what you're
Sure.
saying, is like, oh yeah, whatever. You think you're so good? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
no, man. I've just noticed that. This is what I was saying.
Yeah.
A lot of people. In every industry, it's the case that they would prefer to have someone who's been cutting their teeth and working
Yeah, dude. Exactly.
than
Right.
who went to school and got a degree,
Yeah.
because I don't give a fuck if you got a 3.9 GPA. You have never done this job.
Yeah, we were talking about this. We were like saying like
Okay,
there's two
we
ways
were.
to go
We
about
were.
it. There's like
Okay,
you
yeah,
either go to
yeah.
school or you fucking work,
Yep.
right? And then we were saying like if you have a company, you'd rather have a janitor get promoted to receptionist than hire a fucking kid
Yes.
who just fucking studied
Yeah.
HR or
And
some
hey,
shit,
you know
yeah,
what?
right?
If you got so this does translate to music too, because if you got the chops and you know the fucking ins and outs,
Yeah.
you're going to be the best.
Yeah.
You are, man. And the best do often know that shit. And hey, great. You know, Blake
Yeah.
Mills, I guarantee you knows his shit.
Exactly.
And
Blake
and
Mills didn't
great.
go to school either. Like,
Exactly.
He just fucking play, you know.
But man, he played, and he
Yeah.
when probably he's just a good guy to work with, and he's easy to
Exactly.
work with. You know, I mean, and that's something that a lot of musicians don't understand. Like when you show, if you've ever been hired to do something, and like gigs that I'm usually hired for are to write a song
Okay.
for a commercial or something.
That's fucking badass.
It's
yeah.
awesome. So I'll write a song where I'm like, you know, trying not to hate myself for writing.
Sure.
It's one of
And
these
then
just
it's
like,
a living, dude. Yeah.
but you can still make that music cool and like. I don't know if you can, but anyway, yeah. Watch me.
That's neither
Watch
here
me
nor
try to
there,
get
right?
hired
Yeah,
now.
exactly right.
But you know, it's a job.
Yeah.
And so you're doing it, whatever. You send it back, and they go, it's got it's missing this je ne sais quoi, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, that's French.
Awesome
One,
word.
I
Je ne
don't
sais
know what
quoi.
that means.
Yeah.
Two, what the fuck are you talking
little
about?
something, right?
Yeah, and they're just like, oh, the it's a little too wintry. Could we make it a little more autumnal? And you're like, okay, so you don't know anything about music, huh? And they're just like,
They usually mean
No.
throwing some jingle bells.
yeah,
in there,
whatever
like,
they,
yeah.
dude. Whenever they say wintry,
Yeah.
jingle bells
Yeah,
is
boom.
literally the
Game
exact
over.
thing
Yeah,
they mean, dude.
exactly,
I
yeah.
literally just had a job.
Really?
I'll tell you about it off
Okay,
camera.
okay. What the fuck?
It's hilarious, dude. I looked it up.
You can use a lot more jingle
I
bells.
sent them a
shit.
reference, and they're like, "Yeah, I like the what are those? Like the bells?" I'm like,
Okay, can we like on a completely side
"What you
note,
might mean is Christmassy."
My
Like,
favorite thing is like when I'm working with people that don't play but like are in the industry.
Yeah.
And they're like, I just like really like it when you're like, and they'll say just like some off reference, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
never heard
like
of that.
I want it to be like sad, but like
That's what I was saying.
But
That's
this,
what I
you
was
know-
saying. Like wintry versus autumnal. I'm like, those words
Yeah.
mean nothing to me.
like
I
give me a
don't
practical
know-
thing,
Yeah.
please. Like I'll do it. I can do anything.
Do you want
know?
like a more major sounding thing? Do you want a more acoustics, less electrics? Like
Yeah.
tell me something I can work with. It's like, but
Yeah.
you have to try and work with them.
It is.
And hey, look, they're the employer. I'm the fucking contractor.
Straight
so
up.
like, dude, I'm gonna be as easy to work with as I possibly can. And I do have a line. If you get fucking difficult, I'll weigh it out and I'll say, is this worth it to me? No, it's not worth it to me. Okay,
Yeah.
you know what? Go fuck yourself. Like,
Yeah.
and actually probably not. I'll probably just be like, look, you probably need to hire someone who's more in line with what
yeah.
you need.
And I think that's like not a lot of people have the willingness to do
Dude,
that.
and-
even,
but you
know?
just have to in any job, and like in music, it's no different. And so to me, I think a lot of session musicians don't understand, and a lot of bands who work with promoters
Yeah.
and like musicians in general are just very like, well,
You're
this is
providing a
the way-
service.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
it's
like
a
you-
job.
Exactly.
And
No,
musicians are notorious for not liking.
It comes down
jobs.
to I saw the podcast you were talking about with the last one you did.
Taylor,
yeah,
Taylor
and
Barry's
you guys
on.
were talking about like the importance of business versus artistry, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that's like a really crucial thing to know because like
Yeah.
I was
Well, Taylor is in particular geared. His brain is geared towards
Yeah.
actually wondering
because he's
about
working,
the business.
you know, like
Exactly.
yeah, and it's like something that I realized is like, and this is like a real thing that I kind of realized like in the past few years, like
Yeah.
like as a musician you might not make it. It's not a 0 to a million kind of a thing. It's a middle class I'm working
Yep.
thing, you know, and
Yep.
like, and that's why it's a viable profession to be a musician in
It
Los
is.
Angeles,
It
right?
is. Yeah.
You're not trying to be an artist. You're not trying to be the biggest thing
Well,
ever. You know?
dude,
like-
and that's the crazy thing about doing work here right now as a musician is venues are closing down left, like going out of business.
Yeah.
Like today, the Satellite did.
yeah. Rest in peace
yeah.
to a certain extent.
Boy, I
know, right?
missed that place.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Man, no one's fucking.
I like the backyard area, dude. That's nice.
The backyard's nice.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, hey,
I saw you guys there for your residency, by the way, dude.
Yeah.
For the first night, I think, dude.
that was a good night.
It was badass.
That was a really
dude.
good
Yeah,
night.
it was really good.
That was a really good residency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, that's the thing.
How'd you guys get that, by the way? Maybe that's-
So
Uh-huh.
we did a series of shows there. So look,
yeah.
I posted, some shit that was just like basically fuck the Satellite.
Yeah.
And I stand by it because
I'm done with that.
the deal there sucks.
It's a pay for play
Yeah,
place.
musicians
or it's
shouldn't
a
take
fucking-
that deal.
yeah,
No, it
not.
is. It's pay for play soft, man. People are like, that's not pay for play. I'm like, really?
It is.
They tell you if you bring a certain amount of people,
You'll get
then we'll
money.
give you 10% of the
Yeah.
tickets.
But I gotta
Fuck you.
and I gotta be here from opening, from sound check to the end of the night.
Yeah, you show up at
6
6
hours of your
p.m.
life, bro.
Leave at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Load in everything, break down everything. Also, you have to bring all the people. We're not going to
Yeah.
do anything to bring people to your shows.
Yeah, thanks a lot,
Nothing.
man.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck off, dude. You don't deserve that money. But
Yeah.
the fact is that a booker or a promoter are looking to maximize the profit for them. The venue themselves has no relationship with that booker
No,
or
not
promoter.
whatsoever,
They don't
yeah.
give a fuck.
Yeah.
As long as the booker or promoter is happy, they're going to keep the booker or promoter. And hey, as long as enough people aren't trashing that venue, they're going to maintain that
all
relationship.
means, yeah.
And in a saturated market like LA, one guy like me being like, fuck that place isn't going to make a
Doesn't do
difference.
shit,
There
yeah.
are a million other people who would gladly play there for nothing.
Yeah.
So anyway, on the one hand, sure, fuck the satellite. That place did really rape musicians. I mean, I meant it. I said, what did I say? The satellite fucked more musicians than that bimbo from the 60s, Lori, Maddox. Lori Maddox.
Oh, the fucking groupie? Yeah.
That was my comment. I was just like, good riddance to the satellite.
That's like a very specific reference. Of like, but like,
She's like the most famous groupie.
Exactly.
though.
Yeah, she gets paid off of writing books about fucking famous musicians.
Yeah, and I'm
what
like,
what a profession, by the way, man.
Oh
Like,
my
what the
god,
fuck, man?
that is like when people on social media are like grifter. I'm like, she is an ultimate grifter.
Yeah.
She just fucked musicians, and well, granted, they were fucking a 14-year-old. So anyway,
that's a whole different
That's a
conversation.
whole
Yeah.
different thing, and just the amount of pedophiles that are being exposed in these days. It's like, all right, oh my god, the world's insane.
Yeah.
So anyway, so she's doing that kind of shit, whatever. So I'm just like, okay, they fucked more musicians than she did, and they did, by the way. Like,
Did they comment on your shit?
Oh no, they blocked me.
They did.
They blocked me before I left that.
Really?
Yeah, in response to some other stuff.
Hey, this is like a completely
Yeah.
different question, and you don't have to answer it. Should we have done a disclaimer earlier?
Huh?
But what was the deal with you guys in Little Joy at Echo Park?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what.
Take a break.
We're,
and we'll talk
we're,
about
we're
it?
coming up. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
let's finish this. I'll tell you about Little Joy gladly.
Okay. Yeah.
That's no problem.
Okay, for sure.
And there, as far as I'm concerned, there are no rules on my podcast. I'm only concerned about
Fair
what
enough.
people might not want to talk about, meaning guests. you
Yeah,
know? I
fair enough,
want
fair
you to
enough.
have a good time, and you can ask
Yeah.
me anything.
For sure, fair
Seriously. But
Power play, man.
power play. That's what it was.
You gotta have a fucking button that goes power play.
Power play. Yeah, I also need a button that's just.
Yeah, right. It's like, what the fuck?
I
was
need
that?
my like my little soundboard.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so look, the thing about the satellite
Yeah.
is, so how we got our residency there. We did a couple shows there.
Okay.
We made more money off the shows that we did before our residency.
Okay.
So we did a couple single
At the
releases
satellite, though.
at the satellite.
Okay.
We did a couple single releases, and then we did our album release.
Okay.
And all but one or two of them were very, very successful.
Okay.
So the album release in particular was just fucking front to back great, man.
Sure.
I mean, it was great, you
Yeah.
know? And that was when the dude who was working there at the time, his name's Scott, horrible fucking promoter. I'll say it publicly. Fuck that guy. Scott was running things there.
Okay.
He offered us a residency.
Okay.
Here's the actual story that happened there, too. He offered us a residency, and then we were like, that would be fucking amazing. We
Yeah.
would love it. I mean, because look, the satellite, the space, the sound system.
great
the
space.
stage. Dude, it's unbeatable.
If you took out the politics, it's an amazing
Yep.
fucking area.
Dude,
yeah.
I mean, that place, I really do hope it comes back as another venue. The
Yeah.
shit's already all in there.
Exactly,
Just
yeah.
leave it in there, change ownership, whatever
Yeah.
you got to do. Maybe paint it a different color, whatever the
Exactly.
fuck. It's
Change
an
the
awesome
name or
space,
whatever.
dude.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a
right?
good location, too.
It used to be Spaceland. Now it's the satellite.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
it'll
Yeah,
be
I
something
saw
else.
fucking when I was in high school. I used to go to Spaceland.
It's a
dude.
legendary venue.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
It
It's
really
been
is.
around.
And it pained me to say, fuck this place. But, dude, the deal is shit. I'm sorry. And look, I would say fuck the whiskey, too.
Yeah.
They brought up the Doors and Steppenwolf, two of my favorite classic rock bands. Fuck them, too.
Dude, the entire Sunset Strip is kind of fucked now, by the way. But that's a whole different conversation.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. But,
Yes, that is.
Yeah, but that's like,
So-
fuck that place. Yeah.
So we're in there. We do a killer couple shows.
Yeah.
Capped off
On the
by
residency or
No,
before that?
before.
Okay.
Capped off by an album release show.
Okay.
Dude offers us a residency at the end of whatever year. We start it with end of 2018, and then we start in 2019, whatever.
Okay.
And then he's like, okay, I'm thinking this month. And I was just like, okay, what's the pay deal? And he's like, nah.
It's no pay deal.
And I'm
dude.
like, well, I just made I made a good amount of money off the album release and the singles.
yeah.
They were still shit deals. The amount of money I should have made was way more, but whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
whatever, I made some money. So I'm assuming you're going to fucking pay me to get people in your door.
Yeah.
Dude. He sets the cap of, he's like, okay, you can take 50% of the bar sales after $3,000. And I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, and I'm
dude.
like, and for the record, this is on a Monday night. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so how often do bands get that?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we've had bands in here in the past who, if they have a really great night, sell $3,500. And I'm like,
So $500.
yeah, oh yeah.
Max.
He said 10%. Sorry, 10% of the bar past 3,000. And I was like, does that include the prior 3,000?
Yeah.
And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay, so you're telling me
$50.
$50.
Right? Yeah.
And I'm like, you're telling me if I have a great night, which almost never happens,
Yeah.
you'll give me $50? And he's like, well, the point of a residency isn't really to make money. It's to get exposure. I'm like, I already have exposure.
Yeah, dude,
That's
you
why
saw
you
that the
gave
past
me the
2 nights.
residency.
Yeah.
Like, so I can bring a fuck ton of people. So the first night we were there, it was, you were apparently there.
Yeah, I was there for the first
According to the numbers, it was better than they've seen in like 3 years at the Satellite. And they were, I go up to the bar manager who's sweet, and I can't remember her name right now. She's a red-haired chick. She's dating the lead singer from a band called Mattis or whatever.
Okay.
Who's Dugan? That dude is a good dude. They're all good people, man.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. People confuse. I'm talking about an establishment. I'm not talking
You're
about
the
individuals.
guy who is not paying
yeah,
you, dude.
that motherfucking can go to hell.
Yeah, fuck that guy, dude.
But these other people, I'm fine with them, man. They work at a cool place.
Yeah.
So I go up to her and she's like, you guys I haven't seen anything like that in like 2.5 years at this venue. I'm like, okay.
That contract?
Yeah, that night.
Oh,
so
with all the people there, yeah.
I haven't seen this number of bodies in here in a long time, in 2.5 years. And I go, okay, so did we hit the mark? And she's like, let me look. She goes, you guys got to $2,997.
Oh my God. $3,
Yep.
man. $3 short of
I was
$0.
like, okay, so what does that mean? She's like, she goes, I don't make the deal. And I go, look, I'm not blaming you. I knew what the deal was when I
Ain't
took
that
it.
about a bitch, man?
Ain't that about a bitch?
Holy shit.
It was insane, man. And she was like, look, I think it's a shitty deal too. And I'm like,
dude,
I took
that's
it.
why you got to be like me, man. Like, I play the
not
Satellite.
take that shit?
No, I play the Satellite. I play for artists. They give me $100 up front,
Pay you
whether
your fee.
anything.
Your
Yeah,
fee.
so it's like, I'm in $100. I made technically $3 more than you ever fucking did off that residency.
Hey, man, look.
But that fucking that's kind of the model for LA right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Some bullshit.
Exactly, dude. And I won't say who told this to me because they'll probably get in trouble. But one of my friends turned me on to an idea. He's like, because at the beginning of the coronavirus shit,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, all these venues are going to close. What are we going to do? And he's like, dude, what are you thinking, man? That's a good thing. What are they paying you? And I'm like,
True.
on the other hand,
But
what a good thing.
To be honest,
man.
though, like it's the booking people. The booking
is.
people are the fucking like.
But
leeches,
the venues,
bro.
but the venues are the ones who don't fire those motherfuckers because hey, look, as long as the booker brings a band in who brings a bunch of people, which it is such a saturated market that these bands are all chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
So they're all trying to bring as many people as they fucking can, and they're willing to get paid $150 for bringing 175
Which is
people.
bullshit,
in.
bro.
It's bullshit.
So you threw it at a house show and you paid $10 fucking month. You're at $1,500.
I was
bro.
dude. I was thinking today. I'm like, okay, so if we just rented a warehouse for I don't know $1,000.
Yeah.
If we got 200-300 people in there, $10 a pop, and then charge $5 for a cup, not just every drink, a cup.
Yeah.
We'd make way more money.
That's what I'm saying,
and
bro.
I could keep 100% of the profit.
Dude,
Fuck you.
someone I hate in all of LA, and I'll literally say her name right now because fuck this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hate her. It's Kelly McGarry. Do you know who that is? Yeah, I hate Kelly McGarry. I think
Not only do I know her, my friend, I have a great story about her.
I would love to hear that, bro.
Yeah.
Let me just say, Kelly McGarry is the fucking classic trope of just cancer in the fucking music industry, bro.
Cancer,
like
dude.
literally just leeches off,
Making
of
the
these new-
world worse.
Yeah, I hate that woman
Fuck
with
that
a
bitch.
fucking.
Yep. In fact, I'll cheers to that.
Yeah, fuck that,
'Cause
dude.
fuck
Yeah,
that.
to fuck Kelly
Yeah.
McGarry, bro. Holy shit. Dude, she, in my opinion, has single-handedly ruined every fucking notion that the Sunset Strip is a fucking
Yeah, actually,
romanticized place
her
for me.
and the dude she used to be with, I forget his name. He was into the Sunset Strip shit
Okay.
too, and then Angela Frost,
Yeah.
was kind of into that shit. I mean, she's probably better. Look, I shouldn't say anybody else's name because I don't want them to suffer the wrath
we'll
of
just
how
go to
people
Kelly,
feel
dude.
about Kelly McGarry.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I have never heard anyone say a positive thing about Kelly McGarry.
Kelly still texts me every New Year's saying these are the opening slots we have for, and I'm like, I don't even have a band. Like
Why don't you like her? Look, besides the obvious,
okay.
I was wondering if you had a specific story.
Yeah, I have a story where like so I played a show at the Viper Room, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
did it was for an artist, and it was for the downstairs too, so it was less capacity, right? So
Unplugged show or
it was like an acoustic show,
Yeah,
but,
okay.
but we were a full band, and she didn't even tell us that. She doesn't fucking know the difference, bro. So like we had to sit
was
down.
she at your show?
No, dude.
Yeah, of course she
not,
wasn't.
Bro. But like what happened was so like I had some friends show up to
Yeah.
the show, right? And they bought tickets online because
Yeah.
or pre-sale, right? Because it was Kelly McGarry
'Cause
wants.
it's
and,
fucking
like,
Kelly McGarry.
my friends like fuck it, we'll pay like $10 to go party in Hollywood for a little bit, right?
Sure.
But they show up and they're like, we're at capacity. There's 20 people the downstairs.
I was gonna say that's a minuscule room.
Yeah, it's tiny, dude.
I've been to the Viper Room many times. Hey, there's
Yeah.
another venue with a lot of potential and just shit management and promoters.
Yeah,
Anyway,
and the biggest thing with Kelly is like, actually she was there at that show. You know how I know that? Because she fucking met my friends that were at the door and they told her like, hey, we paid earlier, we have these tickets, we want to get in.
you're
And
not
like,
gonna let me in.
and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, like we're at capacity. Hey, how about I also run shows at the Whiskey and the Roxy, and how about I give you free shows to whatever show you want?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, to the next whoever band comes to in fucking Sunset.
Yeah, sure, Kelly. How about I move around my plans on that day
Yeah,
too? In
right.
addition to
Yeah,
this one,
exactly.
asshole.
Like I'm not even trying to be here. Like I just paid $10 to see my friend. I
I'm
want to go
supporting
drink
my
somewhere
buddy.
else. Yeah, exactly.
the fuck's wrong
And
with
like
you?
I'm like, dude, I've been fucked by the end. Like, it doesn't matter, bro. But like, I'm like, you don't do that with my friends. You know, like they're outside. They're fucking like. Not
See,
doing
man,
shit.
that's the shit.
It's
Dude.
bullshit, bro. You know, it's
That
as a
is-
person, as a principal level, I couldn't really take that. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's fucking bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
So we'll take a break after this because I
Yeah.
do have to pee.
yeah, same, dude.
yeah,
dude.
it's just like
Yeah, it's
when
a
are we
drinking
taking a break?
podcast, dude,
Yeah. So
But I want to hear that Kelly McGarry because,
Well-
oh my god, fuck that bitch, dude. I hate that girl, dude.
I
That
will
woman with a-
emphatically support your
Jesus,
hatred
man.
of Kelly McGarry. She is the worst, and I'm pissed off that more people aren't just loudly like "fuck Kelly McGarry."
Yeah.
So, look, I don't know her as a person. Okay, I'm
I
not
don't.
talking about that as
who
an
she re-
entity.
yeah,
though.
who she
exactly
her job
like,
or her role or whatever.
everybody's
she
like, "Oh,
does.
you don't know her." Like, yeah, get the fuck
Yeah,
out of here.
yeah,
Not what we're
exactly,
talking about.
exactly.
So like, dude, I don't know how, but at a certain point when the Absurd started like taking shows and shit,
Yeah.
look, we're not from here. I don't
No,
know
you
this
know what she
fucking
does,
place.
dude? You
Yeah.
know what all those bookers do is they go on Facebook and they look for fucking artist, like musical band, musician band is the fucking
Yeah.
category on Facebook, right? And
Yeah.
they look for people with less than 150
Yep,
likes.
that's what they
That's
did.
a fucking literally
That's
a
what they
fact.
did.
Yeah,
And at that time, we had probably around there.
yeah,
So she comes, she hits us up, she sends us an email and goes, "Okay, I got all these dates." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Sure, we'll take that one. Is there a pre-sale?" And she's like, we can work with that." But I'm just like, "Okay, fine." You know, and this other dude who happened to be her former business partner / boyfriend or
Okay.
something, I can't remember his name. He was actually a fairly nice guy, but I'm pretty sure he's just as predatory.
sure.
He goes, "Do you want to play this show?" Literally the day after the Kelly McGarry show, and I was like, "Yeah." Kelly McGarry told me I had like a 2-week radius.
Oh yeah, you
clause.
can't do. That's also a bullshit thing, by the
Fuck
way.
you.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck you. If you
Yeah.
want me, you're gonna have to trust me.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't give a
also, don't
shit.
fuck me over for the next
Fuck you.
week. You know what I'm
Fuck
saying? Like, you
you.
get one day.
I need to make money.
Exactly.
So, and I need to like get my music out there. Like, okay, one show a month, sure, whatever, dude. That's not why I'm here.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
So I go, yeah, okay, I'll take that show.
Yeah.
Both with pre-sales where I'm just like, I'm not gonna make those.
Uh-huh.
Like, no way. But
Yeah.
what is she gonna boot me from the bill?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, as it turns out. So
Did she actually?
yeah. So
Where was this at?
I had a show with Kelly McGarry scheduled at State Social House.
Oh my god.
Shit-ass-
Literally, this is
shit-ass
the
fucking
30-person venue max, dude, that they
Shit-ass
want
place.
150 people for.
Look, I was new in LA.
No, that's how I know you're new enough, because State Social House is the worst
Garbage.
venue.
It's
Yeah.
There's a bunch of families eating
State
dinner
Social
downstairs.
House, Molly Malone's,
That's
Genghis
the other
Cohen
one.
are
The other one was Molly Malone's.
Yeah.
So,
oh my. Okay,
State Social House with
I'd
Kelly
love to hear it,
McGarry.
Yeah.
Molly Malone's with this other dude. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
look, we don't know anything.
Yeah.
And I should have been smarter, but I wasn't. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And so I was like, sure, I'll take your show, whatever. So about 2 days before the show that I'm supposed to have with Kelly McGarry, Kelly McGarry texts me and goes, "What's this shit about this show at Molly Malone's?" And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "I saw you took a gig with so-and-so at Molly
Yeah.
Malone's the day after my show. Didn't I tell you 2-week radius
Like,
clause?"
isn't this your boyfriend? Like,
I just
aren't you-
texted back, "LOL, yeah."
Yeah. And what did she say, dude?
Okay, so I texted that back and jumped in the shower. And I got back out and I had 42 new text messages. All of
Jesus.
which were like, LA's a small town and us promoters talk. Good luck with ever having a fucking career in
Yeah.
this town. And this provides the backdrop for why whenever anybody threatens me with that shit, I'm just like,
Fuck you. dude.
yeah, I started my career that way.
Yeah.
And it's been fine.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Like, what are you gonna fucking do? Like, dude, 42 texts. They were all insane. Dude,
Yeah.
like, what? Kelly McGarry, don't you have other people to talk to?
Dude, the girl I played for that Viber Room show,
Well, was she a woman or a girl?
or
That's
that's a good question.
trick
dude.
question. You can't win with that.
Two
answer.
years older than me. I guess she's a woman, dude. But anyways, Kelly actually reached out to her and got the gig. But then she did another fucking Facebook sweep, and she
Yeah.
reached out to me. She goes, "Do you want to play the Viper Room?" And
She
open
reached out to me like 2 years later and was like, "Hey, notice the
every
Absurd's a great
year,
band."
bro.
I'm like,
yeah,
you
dude.
said
You
to
don't
me, good
even
luck
listen,
having
bro.
a career.
Oh my god, dude. I think that's when we should call the break.
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
'cause-
let's do the
'cause
break.
Fuck Kelly McGarry. We'll be right back in like 15 minutes. Or something.
Yeah, let's do it.
Holy shit, dude. It's funny because I forgot about that woman too until now, and I'm like, oh my god.
I swear to
what a
God, I
fucking
haven't
cancer,
thought
dude.
about her in 2 years, maybe.
Thank God, though, dude. I got
Jesus
pissed
Christ,
so
man.
badly, man.
Dude, her assistant hit me up like.
Just kiss me real close.
All right, let's start again.
Anyways.
And we're back with Sean Lee.
Hey, how's it
Um,
going, guys? Before we left, I had a question that I wanted to ask you.
Oh, are
I
you
think-
leading my podcast now?
No.
No, I'm fucking.
Well, maybe. Actually, yes, I am, dude.
No,
Fuck
ask
you,
me
man.
the
Like,
question.
I don't
Yeah,
fucking-
you were. I
But-
brought it in really abruptly.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I low-key, like,
What?
I was like, okay, I'll be honest, dude. Like,
Yeah.
when I knew that I was, like, going to be talking to you,
Yeah.
I was like, I got to get ready. I got to figure out some talking points. Right?
Prepare, man.
But the one question I did have, and this is a question that I don't really ask a lot of people, that because like a lot of people get it.
Yeah.
But I feel like what I miss about not just rock music, but jazz music and
Yeah.
soul music and
Yeah.
like the music I love.
Yep.
And we're gonna get to music in a little bit. Just wait for it.
No,
yeah.
this segment will be
Yeah.
mostly music. Yeah.
But the reason that like I was just I love those is because like the music's amazing, right?
Yeah.
90% of it, right?
I think
But the 10% of it is like
image.
it's image, but it's also like there's this hedonistic like trail through it, right?
Yeah.
And like I feel like, and this is like when I used to work at a coffee shop,
Yeah.
I used to have like a regular come in and kind of I was older than me, significantly older than me.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
would explain it to me because she was around then, right?
Yeah.
And you look at all the great rock acts or the soul acts or the up to like literally the 90s, bro. Like right, or even maybe the early 2000s.
They all killed themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, or were in the process of killing themselves with fucking substances,
And
right?
maybe got out at a certain point. Yeah.
But like I love the hedonistic aspect of
Yep.
it, and I think that's a significant part of it, like because it's so ingrained in the tradition at this point.
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna make music, let's say you're making rock music,
Yeah.
you should know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Let's say making rap music, you should every genre.
Know
Right?
the culture. You know.
Yeah, exactly, and I know like just like who I'm building off. It's like that's the cool part, you know. Like
Yeah.
that's like who you idolize, right?
Yep.
And I was wondering like what I miss about a lot of rock music or music in mainstream culture these days is there's not a lot of hedonism ingrained into it. It's almost like let's play it a little safe because we're in
So-
our bedrooms, you know.
I knew I liked you for a fucking reason, man. You're touching on something that's very
Yeah.
important to me because obviously the absurd imbues our image with that shit.
Sure.
And the idea is, I mean, so to me, rock and roll is sort of from its genesis is probably actually jazz. Jazz not so much because I think that was mostly dudes who were really good at music who happened to be fucked up and just like enjoyed a good time and
Dude,
partying.
rock
but
and
also
roll
they're
is skiffle
good.
and blues.
Yes.
Yeah.
But rock and roll in specific as a marketing strategy
Yeah.
from the people who marketed it to
Yeah.
the masses were just like, yeah, they party and they're not part of the
Yeah.
conformist short hair
Exactly.
suit wearing. That is what it is. And rap music is like that too.
Oh, yeah.
And actually most of the genres that I'm into, because I have an inherent problem with authority.
Yeah.
And so I'm naturally drawn to this thing that just puts a middle finger up. And look, it is a self-defeating philosophy to a certain degree.
And it's quite a
because
good way to stick it up to them.
it's the best, you
Yeah.
know? And yeah, I
Alter
mean,
consciousness, yeah.
well, look, if you want to get music to people, you're
Yeah.
a session dude, so you don't really have to worry about that at
No,
all, maybe.
Artistry is not what I'm worried about.
well,
I'll be straight up front. Yeah, that is not something
Well,
I'm worried about
it's
whatsoever.
the marketing that you're not worried about. You're playing
Sure,
you're
sure.
playing guitar on a record.
Yeah.
Don't really care whose record it is. It's, hey, look, they gave me the paycheck.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
I get a credit, you know, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
You're doing it because, look, I love to play music, and, man, I got to make a living, so I'm
Yeah.
going to get some money for playing some music. Like, that's great, man. I think bands have to worry about image.
Yeah.
Labels obviously worried about the image of their bands and
Yeah.
their labels. It's a business that has to have sort of an outlook on the world. And I think rock music, what's crazy to me, man, I've been seeing a lot of prominent YouTubers, news personalities or whatever, just say like,
News personalities? Okay.
sure, yeah,
Yeah.
pundits, you know, who say, you know, it's amazing to me now that, you know, punk rock is somehow like pro-corporate. Like, dude, you got to do this and you got to like, do you not care about people? It's like,
Yeah.
no, I actually like punk rock though and rock. And the whole point of that is it's the antithesis of you assholes. You
Yeah,
just
most
took
definitely.
you took a sound that you thought was cool and edgy and you started putting your
Like, how isn't pop punk an oxymoron?
yeah, man,
Right?
yes,
It's like
yes.
jumbo shrimp.
which is which is hilarious because
Yeah.
I came up on pop punk, admittedly. Yeah,
I love pop punk, man. It's a different genre in itself.
I
now.
dislike a lot of it, but I came up on. I still think Green Day's good. I came up
amazing,
on
bro.
Blink, and I don't know if I can listen to Blink anymore, man. I don't know why.
Did you like that last album where Tom was gone?
Jesus.
Yeah, I thought that was terrible. California Dreaming or whatever. I thought it was terrible, dude. Dude,
It's
yeah.
like the Chili Peppers releasing an album without Frusciante. Like, get it out of here.
Frusciante's back though, dude.
Yeah, he is,
But,
which
I mean,
is
it doesn't
sick.
really matter at this point. You know, like-
Whatever. Yeah, who cares? Back in the '90s, we were like, no, not Frusciante.
Yeah.
Not we. You know,
yeah,
the
I mean,
older
they kind of
people.
fucked fucking that Josh
Klinghoffer,
Yeah,
yeah.
they kind of fucked him over, right?
Yeah, and all they told him to do was copy Frusciante and his tone.
Yeah.
I mean, he
And
was
he
all
did
over
to a T.
He did
dude, almost. Bro.
He was on. I think he was on Stadium Arcadium though. I think he was the other guitar. Maybe not.
Josh did no. I think
He toured with
John
them.
because Josh was 17 when he joined the Chili Peppers in fucking like 2017, bro. So
Fuck
he was
that
young,
guy.
dude.
Fuck that guy. I like him a lot. Good
Dude,
for
but you know,
him.
Frusciante was hella young. Like I saw a video where he's like
They were all young.
But when Frusciante was like when they were like in their 20s, he was like
Yeah.
fucking like 14, right?
Yeah,
And there's
right,
a video
right,
where
right.
he's like, I saw them and they called me and
Yeah.
they said no, because he's gonna play with this other hardcore band.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
And he goes, no way.
Did you read that Scar
Tissue?
Tissue? Yeah.
Dude, that's like one of my favorite books.
Okay. Yeah, I love that
Dude,
book.
have you ever read the autobiography of Miles Davis?
No, I've heard it's insane though. By the way, do you know the album that Miles Davis did? That's like a rock album. It's a tribute to Joe Louis. Do you know that album?
Joe Johnson, the boxer.
Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson. Yeah. Jack Johnson.
Yes, dude. Right off.
Yeah.
Right
Did
off
I
the
say
first
Joe
song.
Lewis?
Yeah, Joe Lewis is the guy who just died, right?
Man, now I'm gonna get canceled for this
right.
shit. Yeah. Okay.
You
You
just gotta
Jack
say
Johnson.
one nice thing, dude.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Jack Johnson.
No, yeah, dude. I kind of love talking about Miles because like.
Yeah.
So the album I did before the one I did with Rob was an album that was like a tribute to Miles Davis's rock and roll period.
Okay. Yeah.
Because like a lot of people like when they're like I don't really like I'm not into jazz and into rock, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like why? And they're like oh I'm like it's not anything like and it's like we know what I realized it is. I fucking narrowed it down to one solution, bro.
Yeah.
Rock has a celebrity to it. You know the
Yes.
key hitters and you know the
Yes.
relationships.
Yes. Yeah.
But jazz has that too. But it's a little bit removed from us that like the people aren't willing to look into that.
Well, that's what's crazy is, man, it feels like kind of jazz was the rock of 20 or 30 years
Yeah,
before.
exactly.
You know, where those guys were, I mean, they were getting the chicks. They were
Exactly,
doing the drugs.
they were doing the drugs, yeah.
exactly. And
So,
like,
like-
then jazz was just kind of like, okay, they play it in bars and, you know, keep it
Yeah.
down a little bit, but I like hearing it. And then the
Yeah.
rock people came in and it was like, okay, this is
The reason we like rock more is because it's amplified and we're used to fucking electronic music. right?
probably.
But the reason I fucking salute Miles Davis in the
Miles
1960s,
Davis is a badass dude.
motherfucker, bro. He's literally a fucking motherfucker.
Yeah,
bro.
I mean,
You know
he's
what
the
I'm saying?
biggest
Like,
asshole possibly to
Yeah.
ever grace the music
But
music
fucking
industry.
like, but he was a bad motherfucker too.
He
bro,
was
you know?
bad,
He was
dude.
Bad, dude. The bone, bro. He
Yo,
has-
you know when he made that Jack Johnson album? Sorry, I just cut you off.
No.
Finish your thought.
No, finish that. Finish that.
Okay, fine. You
So
know
I'm
when he
interested,
made
yeah.
that album? A bartender at a place I used to work,
Yeah.
was like, "Dude, have you ever heard this album?" I'm like, "No, what? Miles Davis made a rock album?" And he's like, "Yeah." He made it when he was older and he was like washed up on heroin
dude.
and everyone hated him and they were like, you know nothing about rock and roll. And he's like, I'll make the greatest. And he made it and it came out and people were like,
Yeah, dude. Let me.
son of a
Dude.
fucking bitch, he's good.
In the next. Okay, so we were gonna talk about musical influences, right?
Yeah.
Miles Davis is my favorite artist of all time.
Is he really?
In the next 10 minutes, can I just explain to you why that period of Miles Davis is the most important thing to modern music?
Is it going to
period?
take 10 full minutes?
No, but
Okay.
I'm gonna do it fast.
Okay.
But like, if
You can
that,
do it in 30 seconds. No, I'm
that's a
kidding.
little bit of time. I'm thinking of Brett. That's like 30 seconds to even start, dude. Okay, so Miles, when he starts out, he's on his album. He's on his record label called Prestige.
Okay.
Okay, and they're small. Think of them as like a burger record type thing.
Right,
They're
right, right.
Regionalized. They're fucking, and they make jazz records.
They were a little thing.
And-
Yeah.
But he's new. He also
Yeah.
went to Juilliard, dropped out to play with Charlie Parker.
I didn't know that.
Had a heroin problem.
Yeah, I know
fucking
that.
Quit that
Yeah.
by spending a month locked in his dad's barn.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, his
He
whole
just
thing,
did hardcore, just like, I got to quit.
his whole thing is his parents. His dad's a doctor,
Okay.
and his mom is a fucking also a doctor, but she's like they're both very well off, right?
Okay.
But they live in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So his whole thing is I'm rich. I come from a good family, but because and he's dark skinned black.
Yeah,
So
he's a
like,
dark
because
motherfucker.
I come
yeah.
from that fucking scene, you're gonna judge me. And so he had this hardcore like
I didn't know that about
intent
him.
hatred about him because his social life never really matched with like how he was appreciated, right?
Huh.
That's why he was so angry and violent throughout the entire life.
Yeah.
Because there's a disconnect between where
Huh.
he came from.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So anyways, what happened is so he's on this record label with Prestige, right?
Yeah.
And it's around 19 like in the late 40s, right?
Yeah.
And suddenly this label called Columbia comes around. That's the label that fucking put out the Strokes.
Who's
bro.
ever heard of that?
I know, right? One of the biggest fucking monsters dude, in the fucking
Yeah.
game. Right? And Columbia comes around in 1959, bro. And
59. So he's
yeah.
like 10 years on a tiny label.
exactly
10, 20
So
years, yeah.
he's like, and they're like, if you want to leave this label, you owe us 5 albums.
Oh my God.
So it sets a week of studio time.
And cuts him.
Every day, just cuts 5 albums that are and as he goes, he gets John Coltrane in his band, who's another big man. Who's 18. He joins his sax. He's fucking
Yeah.
a sax player. Gets Bill Evans, who's white,
Oh my
in his
God.
all black band. There's a
Yeah.
fucking famous story where like
Yeah.
when Bill Evans joins, Miles Davis goes to him and goes, "Bill," that's his voice because he like screams.
Yeah.
"Bill, if you want to join this band, you have to suck at least one of us' dick. You choose by the end
Oh
of the day."
no.
And Bill comes to him at the end of the day and goes, "Mr. Davis, I really want to join this band, but I don't think I can suck anyone's dick." And Miles goes, "You motherfucker, come here." And he gives him a hug, bro. So like that's how Bill Evans joins, right? And Bill Evans introduces his
He's like
classic.
conciliatory. I don't think
That
I
was
can
a
do
test,
that.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like Zap asking fucking Steve Vai to join his band. Yeah,
Exactly,
anyway,
with the
yeah.
black page, dude.
Yep.
Fucking
Yeah,
Trash Can Be-
exactly.
Yeah, dude. I think all of those are. See, like when it comes to rock,
Yeah.
I obsess over that shit.
Yeah.
And it's equally as cool in jazz, bro.
Yep,
Like,
it is. It is.
Just like forget
Yeah.
the music even for a
Yep.
second, bro. How cool is that?
No, but that's what I'm saying
Yeah.
about like, man, the marketing. Look, yes, marketing. As a musician,
Yeah.
I'm geared towards being like, fuck marketing and fuck all that shit.
Yeah.
But it's
It's
important,
different,
and the imaging, like, so that's what I was saying is like there are musicians who play for the sake of music, and then when you get into the music industry and why we remember certain stuff, music is one of the biggest auditory sense. The auditory sense is one of the main senses that will remind you of memories.
Yeah.
Next to smell, you smell certain things and you're like, oh, I remember her.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember those. That was when my sheets were cleaned or whatever.
Yeah.
You hear certain songs and certain songs will literally just, I'm back in that moment in my head. Like people are, you're
Yeah.
in a social situation. They're like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, dude, it's like 1998. This song is playing, whatever. A lot of that I think is because the industry that decided to, push those people forward is doing it in a deliberate way and saying, look, Miles Davis is like, I didn't know that story about Miles Davis. That's fucking
No,
nuts.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree with you, and I'm saying like the fact that I had to look that up in a book, and I didn't know that from popular social consciousness in terms of like
Kinda
I know
nuts.
Elvis or something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. There's like that's kind of why it didn't transfer to a bigger audience.
Yeah, well, I
or
mean,
at least to a modern audience.
I was gonna say, so I don't know anything about how big Miles Davis was at the time, but my assumption is that he was pretty big at the time. Is that
Dude,
not true?
at the time, he would be like a young artist. So
Okay.
he'd be like an indie band.
Didn't he get to a point at some point like Coltrane where he's just killing it and selling out?
So
fucking...
pretty much the band, he puts out an album called Kind of Blue,
right?
and it becomes the biggest selling jazz of all time.
Okay.
But then he breaks up that entire band.
So I would be curious to see like jazz sales compared to rock sales,
Dude,
because
the
rock
reason-
was all about marketing,
Dude,
jazz not as much.
What I'm getting to is
Yeah.
how he transfers that to rock sales. Bro.
Okay.
What happened was, so in the 60s, imagine this. Okay, I feel like the thing with jazz is it seems like it's old music,
Yeah.
but you think about the 60s.
Yeah.
Think about, okay, so like in your ear, you're hearing
Yeah.
fucking.
Don't be
Elvis
afraid to
from
angle
Elvis.
yourself towards the mic, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I'm so
you're
sorry,
speaking
man.
interesting
Yeah.
shit.
I'm
and I
so
want people
excited.
to-
I'm
I
so
just-
excited
just
that I
don't
can't
wanna
control
have people
myself,
hear
you
like
know?
what's he saying? It's good shit. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
No, you're good. You're good.
But in the 60s, in 1961, right?
Yeah.
So John Lennon and Paul have already met.
Yeah.
Elvis has already become number one.
Right.
But Miles Davis decides that he wants to put a new band. Miles Davis goes sober for
Right.
2 years and he goes out of the scene. He decides he wants to put a band together again because he thinks he can do it again.
Okay.
He goes, I need to find all of the young musicians. He's at this point 35. He goes, I want to find.
Not even that old, man.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But like in a weird way, like imagine if a 35-year-old like just came to you while you were fucking 17. You'd be like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like,
You're one of the best. Play with
Yeah.
me. Like, okay,
so he
old
hires
man.
Herbie Hancock, who's 22,
He's
who's
one
still
of
around.
my most influential.
Exactly,
musicians,
and is still around to this day. You know.
I fucking love Herbie Hancock.
He hires Tony Williams, the drummer, who's
Jesus.
17.
Yeah. Wow.
And Tony Williams is gonna say,
Where the fuck did he find these guys?
So they were all playing with people that he knew. It was all word of mouth back then. Dude.
Yeah.
And he would call them, dude.
I think it kind of still is now.
It is, dude.
Because look, if enough people tell me, like I was telling you, finish your story first.
Well, no, I think that's a good route, to like a little
Yeah.
tangent, because
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's still, as much as we like to say that social media is like a big player,
Yeah.
word of mouth is still the biggest thing. Like,
I don't
it's-
give a shit about anyone who messages
like,
me
let's
on
say like
social media.
Josh gets sick and you're like, I need a bass player. You ask Connor, who's a bass player you can think.
Yeah.
The first guy he chooses is the first guy you're gonna call,
Yeah,
regardless
exactly.
of whether he's
well,
good
because
or not.
I trust
you know?
Connor, you know.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. That's what I was telling you the other day. I
Yeah.
think this is a fun backstory. I was telling Connor, who is
Yeah.
a phenomenal guitarist and who doesn't, for some reason, show it off as much.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, I was like, I told him, Sean rips, dude. Like, no question.
Damn.
Yeah. And he's just like, I've met a lot of people, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm telling you, though. And he's just like, we have to back. Whatever. So we're at the same jam the other day.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, you left. And he goes, dude, you're right. Sean's really good. I'm like, dude, I don't really bullshit about that kind of thing. But the point
I
is,
appreciate that.
no, seriously.
But it's word of mouth.
But the point is, he trusts me.
Yeah.
I trust him. Based on your musical ability, I trust you. So if you said, yo, this guy, you got to play with him. If you're looking for, if I hit you up and I was like, yo, I need a bassist or I need a drummer or
Yeah.
whatever, I would trust your judgment. And I still
Exactly.
think it's that way, dude, because, man, when people hit me up on Instagram or Facebook, I'm just like, we share no mutual friend. Who the fuck are you, dude?
Dude,
You're
to me,
soliciting something, you know?
Social media, maybe like we're a little bit older or something,
Yeah.
but social media to me is just the primary messaging platform.
Yeah, it's convenient when someone's
yeah.
like, you should hit him up. I'm like, okay,
It's like
cool.
it's
I don't
the
have
new,
to ask you for his
it's the new
number.
texting, you know?
Right.
It's like it's
Right.
nothing more than that, you know?
Man, but the problem is, for as much as I don't reply to my texts, which I really don't,
Yeah.
I am shit at replying to social media shit. Because I check it, I
Yeah.
look at it, I'm like, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, I like
This is
intentionally give
boring.
myself like no social media time. you know
Yeah,
what I'm
well, you
saying?
don't even
I
have
block it
Wi-Fi,
off.
man.
I don't. Yeah, dude, exactly. So it's
All right,
like,
let's get into your background a little bit. Let's also, I don't want to feel like I'm bitching out. I'll talk about Little Joy a little bit,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to hear that Miles Davis is one of your influences.
Yeah.
Because
we can go into it all fucking week,
dude,
dude.
man, that shit. I mean, no, it's great, and that's
Yeah.
why I like that you. That's why I was kind of blown away that you were like, I don't usually do the rock and rolls. And I'm like, well, you're pretty good at it for not ever doing it. It's
Yeah,
like you
dude.
try to ride a horse.
Yeah.
Like, I've never ridden a horse before. That motherfucker just jumped all the
Yeah.
whatever.
I
the
mean, dude, I,
horses do,
I love
yeah.
rock and roll, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you
yeah.
got the rock and roll spirit for sure. And that's what so I think this is what it is beyond music, jazz and rock
Yeah.
both have kind of this sentiment or spirit, where you're just kind of like, it's not just the music, it's this
Yeah.
free kind of spirit.
Yeah.
Jazzers were the first, I guess blues guys too. They weren't the first. Look,
History
but
repeats itself, right?
you kind of,
culture,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
and you find it in new forms maybe.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I wonder about rock is like, okay, so if we've gone through these iterations of the same kind of sentiment,
Yeah.
what if rock turns into something else, And why wouldn't it?
I think rock at some point, like maybe in the next 20, 30 years,
Yeah.
it's going to become high art.
Yeah.
You're going to see rock at Carnegie Hall.
Because actually it's already been at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, even more so to prove a point,
Dylan
right?
and am I right about that? I think rock musicians have
Dylan?
performed there. Yeah, Dylan and
I saw
Springsteen.
Fiona Apple and John Brion at fucking Disney Concert Hall. So
Right.
like, that shit's there, you
Right.
know? But
Right.
but I was
Yeah.
thinking like rock, because what happens to like music like that impacts such a huge span of time.
Yeah,
Like classical did that, bro.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
classical was popular consumed music until it became high art in the 20th century,
The,
right?
the
When-
weird thing about classical versus like rock and jazz, though,
Yeah.
is in the era of classical music, you would have what do you want to call it? A benefactor.
Yeah, classical music was elitist.
Exactly.
art,
It
right?
wasn't
Yeah.
dependent on the masses to be like, we like that or we don't like that. What's weird about now.
Exactly.
Okay, so then you go through like jazz and rock, and both of those are actually reactions to what's popular. Because while the Rolling Stones are coming out and the
Yeah.
Beatles, you have as popular songs, How Much Is That Doggy? And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
that's bullshit.
Dude, but like
We don't
where-
like it.
Where that break in elitism happened in classical music was in the 1850s, which was when the Romantic
Right,
period.
right,
took
right,
over.
right.
And so like it was like. That being said, if you want to really consider that, classical music has only been a democratic art form for 200 years.
Okay, so
or
tell me,
300
how
years.
did you, if you're not formally educated in music,
Yeah.
right? You didn't go to study it at school.
No.
So
not in
how did
college,
you
no.
come to know all of this shit?
Well, I played classical piano for 14 years.
At the behest of your parents?
No, I loved it, man. When I was a kid, I played it with.
Well, but
the
who
mu-
made you? Who
I
was
taught.
like?
I learned with the music teacher that was teaching music lessons at my
Did you just have a piano
elementary
in your
school.
house, and
Well, we did have a piano in my house.
Okay.
And
your parents saw that you loved it, or
No, what happened was I didn't have a piano. My mom wanted me to learn how to play fucking church music. She
okay,
wanted me
yeah,
to, like, she
she's
wanted me to play-
religious.
Yeah,
I'm
and
guessing
like
Catholic if you're Korean.
no, dude.
Really?
Like evangelical Christian, dude. Actually, for a
Okay,
little
that's-
bit.
That's bizarre.
But what it is this. It's like, well, for religion, for like just a quick tangent, it's like
Yeah.
when you first come to America, you're going to find people that look like you.
Yep.
Oh, where do they all congregate? And also, who are the ones that reach out to you? So you're fucking stuck in the structural system until you
Yeah, of course.
realize I only joined, like my mom, like,
course.
like as
course.
quickly as she joined like a church when she was a kid, like when I was like in fucking like 5th or 6th grade, she was like, fuck this. Like
Yeah.
she left, bro.
Right.
She's like, we're not doing that anymore. you
Right,
know?
right.
But it was really cool because like she wanted me, and I played, and it's funny because I played guitar in like a Christian rock church for a little bit,
Yeah,
and then my mom was like, we're not going there anymore.
like
and
a
then,
mega church with like a bunch of
It
people.
was like big, but yeah, it was like we were
Yeah.
playing Christian rock.
mean,
you
I've
know,
been
like
to a
lot
bunch
of
of them,
delay
yeah.
and a lot of fucking reverb. On it. But then there's this gospel Methodist church next
Yeah.
to my house, which is all black people because I lived in like a mostly black and Hispanic neighborhood
Yeah.
in Pasadena, and they were playing gospel and blues, dude. And like she somehow talked her way into like her being like, yo, my son plays guitar. It's Washington United Methodist. Maybe he can play guitar for you for the first.
Good on your mom.
Yeah, she was like, she hated me getting into music, but once I got obsessed with it, she's like, okay, like I'm gonna fucking be on it, you know.
She hates you getting into it though because she's an
Yeah.
artist and she realized the financial rewards.
Exactly.
For this.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, I'm
She's
trying
trying
to,
to
buy a
protect
house,
you.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know,
Good on
it's-
her.
So it's like you kind of in church, it's like you learn how to modulate because like some
Right.
singers want to sing higher and
Right.
lower.
Right.
You learn how to fucking play in pocket with the gospel stuff.
Yeah.
Like you learn how to. So it's like, in a weird way, like before I even like learned how to play guitar, I was kind of forced to do it.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure.
Yeah,
you
you
know,
just
to
kind of
me.
fell into it.
And
However
I love
you
the
fell into
people
it.
aspect of it, man.
I mean, it's great, man. Look, you have a very good understanding of kind of the communal aspect of guitar. So I guess to me, how was it the case that you were kind of, did you hear guitarists when you were younger who you're just like, oh, because like you're saying Miles Davis, I'm like, okay, then why aren't you into
Trumpet,
trumpet?
bro, yeah.
Like, so who, like, what was a guitar around?
Like-
Because you're also saying a piano was around.
Yeah, piano's around. Guitar's never around, bro. But like,
So why guitar? I mean,
Dude,
who?
I saw-
what was the process?
I got MTV at my house.
Yeah.
I saw Slash.
Yeah.
Slash is sick. Like, but like he's
So
kinda,
rock shit ironically got you into
Yeah, of course,
stuff,
dude.
and
Hell,
you
I'm
and
not
you
gonna
say,
deny that.
"Oh,
What's-
I'm not into rock."
No, but Slash is tight, man.
Slash is like the
awesome.
ultimate rock guitarist.
Dude, my what really kind of like really drew me into guitar was Richie Blackmore from Deep Purple.
yeah.
I thought he was amazing, man. Like he
Tone wise, or
he was such a dick, man. Like, and he played like such a fucking like sloppy motherfucker, bro.
yeah.
But, like there's
So you're a fan of John Fogerty?
no, I
He's
don't
also
like
a
John
huge
Fogerty.
dick, yeah.
That's not the criteria though. Dude. Like, I remember I used
Yeah.
to watch like I think like so how I got into guitar initially was me and
Mm-hmm.
my friend in 8th grade. We discovered this list on Google called Top 100 Rock Guitar Solos of All Time.
Yeah.
And we were like, you have a guitar. My friend Brian had a guitar. And I was like, maybe I should buy a guitar. And maybe we should just see who learns the most of these.
Yeah. Right.
Because we were like, yeah, fuck yeah. Why not just start at the heart of the shit, you know?
Yep.
And we started learning them, dude. And it was like,
love
none of
that.
us knew any chords or anything. But like,
Yeah.
I can play the Crazy Train solo. And he can play like Comfortably Numb. You
Yeah,
know, like shit
yeah.
like that. And then like, he kind of gave up. But I was like, whoa, there's a list called Best Rock Guitar Riffs.
Yeah.
Or best singers. Dude.
Let's
Why not
learn
learn
those.
those songs? Yeah, and
Yeah.
it kind of just led to this thing. And I was like, holy like still to this day, I'm learning songs every day, man. Like
Yeah.
I set a discipline thing for myself, like a practice routine for myself from like maybe a month ago now. I've been doing it for a month where
Yeah.
it's I'll wake up immediately and I'll choose an artist that I love. Like I did Prince, Michael Jackson, D'Angelo,
Okay.
Erykah Badu, like I like the artists I love.
Have you
right?
heard D'Angelo's, dude, his most recent album, I think, or
Yeah.
maybe it's like a couple years ago. It's got some
Black Messiah?
Black Messiah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an insane sounding album.
Oh my god.
I'm not
dude.
even talking about the content, but the
No.
like the lyrical, but the musical content. I'm like,
Bro, there's a song called 1,000 Deaths.
that's like my
and
favorite one.
Yeah, dude, the speech is like, and his hand was like lamb's wool, you know?
Well, and the dude, I feel like Kanye listened to that album and was just like, dude, this is cool. I'm gonna do it on a pop music scale. Okay, wait. Let's not get distracted.
Yeah,
So,
shit, I forgot what we were even talking
so
about.
your practice regimen that you've been doing for a
Oh
month.
yeah. So what I did was I woke up and I'd be like, every time I wake up, I'm not gonna go on my phone. Fuck
Yeah.
my phone. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put that. I'm gonna leave that. I'm not gonna eat, drink, water, piss or shit or anything. Right. What I'm
You
gonna
should do
is-
all those things.
I probably should, you
Yeah.
know, but I said it kind of as like a let's make it strict. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
and
yeah, okay.
And I said I'm gonna learn 10 songs by an artist I like just purely by ear.
Okay.
So I have CDs and I
Mm-hmm.
also have. Well, I use Spotify, so I guess I use my phone, right?
What the hell's a CD?
I know, right? Dude, back in my day. Dude, like, God damn it, Bobby. But yeah, man, and it's been great because like now, like I've, it seems like at least as fucked up as this whole quarantine shit is to bring it back to like
Yeah.
what we were talking about at the beginning.
Sure.
It seemed like there was like a 2 to 3 week window where it was like the eye of the storm, right?
Yep,
Like,
yep.
remember that?
Yep.
And that's when like a lot of these sessions started opening up again, and a lot of these artists that I play with were recording songs they want a guitar.
Yeah.
So like the past 2-3 weeks, I've been fucking working like 5 days a night, dude. And like 5 days a week, man. Like,
Yeah.
I've been working like a lot more than I ever thought I
Yep.
would. I'm making money off of it, and like it's like, And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And then now it's like getting diminished because those guys are like, okay, we're done with the sessions. We're not
Yeah.
gonna work on it anymore, right?
Right.
But like, it's weird because like, I guess that's kind of always been the case, right? Like you have work
Yep.
for nothing, and then you have work for a long time.
It's
you know?
always in flux, man. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, so what I kind of wonder, okay, so you're more of a, I don't know if this is a fair way to put it, but you're more of a session guy, whereas I'm more of a writer
Yeah,
guy.
exactly.
Okay, so in that vein,
Yeah.
your most recent EP is called
It's called Tanglewood.
Tanglewood.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Damn, I
It's
can't.
when you get a little older, actually, no, I just grew up skateboarding and snowboarding and playing sports. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I beat the shit out of my body
Shit,
when I
man.
was younger, man. Yeah, like, athletics is fun.
Yeah, I've never broken a bone in my life.
I've never either, but I have sprained and twisted and, you know.
Probably the same thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Anyway, so
yeah.
you come from, so what's weird is the reason I picked up, I think, instruments.
Yeah.
Maybe before I knew what I was doing, you know, I guess I
Yeah.
picked up, if there was anything around, I'd plink on it. You know, I went over to my grandpa's place and he had a keyboard or a synthesizer. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you can hit the buttons and make different. And, you know,
Yeah.
This is fascinating to me, though. It's not just like I'm playing with a toy. I'm transfixed by this thing.
Yeah.
And he would tell me a little bit about the scales and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, great. So a guitar showed
Remember
up
when
at
it
some
became
point.
real? First moment, dude.
Yeah, man. So, well, for me, it might have been like I always had that shit to fuck around with, but then I had like, there was in like 4th or 5th grade, they're like, all right, you're gonna try out for band, and it was like, how? What does that mean? You know?
Yeah.
And they're like, just pick an instrument and do it. I'm like, trombone, and like the only reason I did that was because it had a goofy.
Yeah,
that was
it's
the
a
whole
cool
thing.
instrument,
I
bro,
was just
yeah.
like, this is the dumbest looking fucking
Yeah.
thing. Like, give me that.
Did you play trombone?
Yeah,
That's badass.
I was
though,
first
dude.
chair for a couple of
No
years.
way,
man. Yeah.
bro. Really? That's fucking sick. Dude.
Craziest thing too is I couldn't
Yeah.
sight read, dude.
Okay.
Like, so I'd be first chair and the sight reading challenge would come up and someone would always try to challenge me. I'd still fucking beat them, but sight reading would come up and I'd boof it.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
That's
fucking
kind of
sight
most
read.
people, bro.
Yeah.
Ear, dude.
Weird.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I had that skill more. But anyway, I was also taking drum lessons at the time.
Okay.
And like, I also, you know, got into a little bit of guitar, just kind of like had it. Anyway, the thing to me is the reason I picked up, the only thing I did on these instruments when I had them was like write things. Oh, I like this. When I learned what songs were, which wasn't until a little later, because I don't know why. I just
Yeah.
conceptualized what a song was.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I could write a song.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a poem.
fuck it, dude, yeah.
Whatever, yeah. That's the only reason I picked up a guitar. What's weird is the reason I picked up guitar was so that I could be like, okay, what I hear in my head, we got to do that.
Yeah.
Put it in a song. The reason you're saying you picked up guitar is I fucking love that shit. I'm going to do that. Like,
Yeah.
there's sort of a difference there. And
No,
I wonder,
most definitely. It's a
right?
bit, but like I feel like in the beginning it was kind of similar. Like
Yeah.
when I first played, I was, you know, into guitar for a minute, and then I went to high school,
Yeah.
and I found out that the jazz band in high school has a guitar in it.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
play
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna audition, right? So I
Yeah.
went. It was my second day of high school, man. I brought my white Stratocaster and a little 10-watt Marshall amp, bro. And she goes, okay, like play your audition piece. And I played "Wonderful Tonight" by Eric Clapton, dude. And I played the melody.
Low key, I love that song.
That sounds beautiful, man. It's kind of cheesy because he's like,
It's,
what do you say to your girl when she's drunk? She's gonna go to sleep. Oh, you look wonderful tonight.
dude,
like, come on, man, like, yeah.
I am back and forth between thinking
Yeah.
like that song is the lamest song ever, but also, nah, nah, nah.
How are you gonna beat that?
Dun,
Dude,
dun,
no one has
dun,
beat
like-
that up to this point, man. But yeah, I played that, and then she put a piece of sheet music in front of me, and this is when I was fucking 14.
What the fuck, you fucking
audience, dude.
hooligans?
Fuck yeah,
you,
bro.
You gonna
Fucking
go
kill it,
smoke, dude? Oh, sick, dude. Go. Get out of here. You go fast. Run like the wind, bullseye. That'll live in perpetuity is the time I was addicted to the other members of Karma Vulture.
Yeah, man. But let's audition, and they put a sheet music in front of me, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know how to read that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can play it on piano though. I play piano, and I fucking read on piano. She goes, okay, like, well, like, we're gonna post the names the next day, right?
Huh.
And we go, and the names are posted for all the jazz bands. But then there's another fucking list of 3 jazz bands at the fucking high school. But there's another list that says guitar ensemble, and
Yeah.
there's 4 of us.
Yeah.
There's There's a girl now who plays for this band Muna, who just played Lollapalooza. They're fucking
Luna?
Muna, M-U-N-A. They're fucking like a
Wouldn't that be
lore-
pronounced Munna?
Yeah, right. But they have a little. I think they have a little.
Oh, they got an
umlaut,
umlaut
yeah,
or
or
a
umlaut, yeah,
tilde
yeah.
or
Yeah,
a-
some sign, dude. But like
Some
yeah.
other sign, yeah.
And then it was like these other guys, and I was like, what is this, dude? Like, this isn't a jazz band. We went, and it was all of us guitar players, and these 3 other people were way better than I was. I
Yeah.
didn't fucking know what the fuck was going on.
Right,
I
right, right.
just started a year ago, and she goes, she goes, look, and she was a jazz drummer. You can look her up on fucking YouTube,
Yeah.
right? And she goes, look,
What's her name?
Megan Foley.
Megan Foley.
And
Okay.
she's the most amazing woman in the world, dude. And she goes, look, she studied with Jeff Hamilton.
Don't you mean girl?
Yeah, woman, dude.
Referenced earlier. Hey, folks,
I
you
know,
still
right?
paying attention?
But she's a little bit older than 3 years older than me. Dude. She's 10 years older than me. So
Alright,
woman
yeah.
by that logic. Dude.
yeah.
And she goes, look, I don't know about guitar. I'm a drummer,
Yeah.
but I know that a guitar player is not going to get a job if you guys don't know how to read music. So I'm going to spend 5 months teaching you guys how to read music. And 3 of them quit, bro. I'm the only one who ended up sticking with it.
Huh.
And I learned, dude, and it was awesome. And then she fucking next year she called me for the
Why did you stick with it?
Because I felt like I was so inferior, like in terms of level to all the other. Because like one of them played in a hardcore band already,
Yep.
and he was playing fucking these crazy fucking Yngwie Malmsteen licks, right?
Mhm.
One girl played in like a fucking math rock band because math rock was huge in Pasadena when I was growing up, right?
Yeah.
And she was amazing. She knew how to tap and everything.
Yeah.
And then the other guy just was the cool guy who played in a bunch of ska bands and punk bands and blah blah blah, right? And me, I was there I'm the youngest person here, first of all, you know. And I'm
Yeah.
and I just picked
By
up
a long
guitar.
shot or what?
Yeah, by two years, which
Yeah.
is by in high school is a huge thing. You know
It's
what I'm
kind of
saying?
a weird thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I guess the one thing I have is that I can learn this shit better than these guys because
Yeah.
they don't fucking show up, you know.
Well, fucking A.
And then it moved on, and then I don't know, man. Guitar to me, it's just I look at it, and it's such a puzzle, dude.
Yeah.
It's like a
But you're compelled to solve puzzles.
yeah. I'm it's
Not everybody is compelled to solve puzzles, though,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm trying to get at. Is so for me. Okay, so here's what I'm getting at about the difference, kind
Yeah.
of maybe in the way that we see guitar
Yeah.
is
I'm sorry about over answering the last question, by the way.
you didn't. If
Okay.
it,
Okay, for
no,
sure,
not
for
at
sure.
all, man. But it's like the way I see guitar is
Yeah.
it's sort of like a speed bump
Yeah.
between me and writing a song.
Okay.
If I don't know how to play a guitar, since I can't play piano or these
Yeah.
other melodic instruments, I can't. What's in my head
Yeah.
can't live.
Yeah.
I can't get it out
yeah.
unless I just made a great and patient friend who I'm like, dude, can you play something that sounds like
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
And they're like this? Like, no, like that. Like, dude, just go learn the fucking instrument,
yeah.
And whereas you're learning it and you're just kind of like, I enjoy the puzzle solving.
Yeah.
So what I like is the puzzle solving of writing a song. I like, okay, you could chop a little here, do a different dynamic thing here,
Yeah.
throw some different drums in there. I don't like, oh my God, I have to fucking learn how to play this goddamn guitar part, and the one in my head is way harder than one I can play. So
Yeah.
either hire somebody, which I don't have the money for, or learn how to fucking play it. Whereas you're like,
I think I get tired. Dude.
nah, that looks like a Mount Everest that I'd like to climb. Like,
Dude, but I feel
what
like-
compels you there?
But I feel. Oh, I guess what compels,
Technical guitar players, they're a different type of guitar
Yeah.
player than me, so I'm interested in learning.
What compels
more,
me is that the part usually that anyone comes up with.
Oh, sorry,
any artist,
you
bro.
have to pour this for me.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Unfortunately,
Is that we're continuing that trend, bro?
I don't
I
think we
like
can
this,
stop
man.
now.
I
It
like
started
this,
at the
man.
beginning. Yeah. Thank you.
To all you bigots out there,
Yeah. Hey.
just pour your friend a drink. You know?
I
That's all it
feel
really
like that could solve a lot of problems in the
really
world right
could.
now. Got a friend? Pour him a drink.
But I think for me, it's when I hear a really cool guitar part,
Yeah.
it's usually from someone who's a lot smarter than I am in terms of making songs.
Yeah.
You're talking about I want to do dynamics here and do this and that, right?
Yeah.
That shit I'm just recently learning about.
Huh.
So when I hear that, what I know is that my expertise lies in that I can execute that guitar part.
Oh, that's
So
okay. I
Yeah.
get
So it's
that.
let's
yeah.
say you have this crazy guitar part in your head
Yep.
and you sing it.
And you're the guy who could help me extract it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I would literally be happy to spend hours on end just trying to figure that out because that's what the song needs in your brain, you know?
What are your rates? Perfect. I'll hit you.
Dude, for homies, dude, it's free, man. Don't even worry about it.
none of that.
No,
none of
but
that.
what I'm saying is but really though, if it's a good if it's something that I'm digging.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
usually if it's something that I'm digging,
Yeah.
I'm not. The money's not the thing I talk about, bro. Like money's as much as like.
Yeah, but put your name on it, man. Find a way
Oh, most
to
definitely, bro.
find a way to
Yeah.
get what you deserve out of it.
Well, I mean,
you
that's
know?
why you play for people, man, because it's
Yeah.
a word of mouth thing, right?
So it's interesting.
Yeah.
So there are like almost two camps of musicians in the way that we're talking about. There's people like me who are like,
I call them artists and musicians. You're an artist.
yeah, I agree.
You're a musical artist.
I agree. Did you ever see the movie Midnight in Paris?
Yes.
It's whatever. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
I love watching it. But there's a part in there where Owen Wilson's character is talking to the chick on the Rachel McAdams or whatever.
Yeah.
Babe of babes.
Yeah.
And he's reading a book and he goes, something about Picasso was the better artist. Monet was the better painter,
Yeah.
which is really interesting to me. You're saying there's artists and musicians, did you say?
Yeah.
He's saying there's artists and painters. It's
Yeah.
the same
Same-
medium
same, yeah,
comparison.
exactly.
There's people who have this conceptual thing and
Yeah.
the actual expression through the medium is a little different, but then like the people who understand the
Yeah.
technicalities of the medium, those people need to fucking work together, and they used to.
Most definitely, man.
Now everybody wants to like be both, and it's like, dude, you don't.
But the problem is, like, if you want to dichotomize, if you want to, like, binary those two things, like musicians and artists are leaders.
Yeah.
Musicians are team players.
Yeah.
So it's like a bunch of leaders, it's hard for you guys to get along.
Okay,
you know?
but are you a team player?
I am
you,
a team player.
You are.
Yeah, I love team playing.
But
bro.
I imagine there must be circumstances where you're just like, nope.
I don't want to do it.
Well, you talked about Kelly McGarry earlier. I mean, but my point is that you have lines.
I have,
where you're
yeah,
just
exactly.
Like,
yeah.
no.
All right, so, like, my boundaries are if I need to be paid, like, period, for sure. Like, I want to be paid. But,
Yeah.
But even if not, like, I need to like the music. But if I don't like it, I need to be paid, right?
Yeah.
But another real thing is, like, if it's gonna be like a 1 hour session,
Yeah.
don't make me be there for 5 hours.
Right,
You
right,
know, like,
right,
let's,
right,
Like,
right.
I want to be like, let's be working as soon as I get
shit
there.
to do.
Exactly. Like,
Dope that you want to
like I'm down to do it for free, but let's do the 30 minutes as hard as we can. Let's not
Yeah.
fucking drink and smoke weed for
Yeah.
a minute. You know, let's
Yep.
fucking like execute and then celebrate.
Yeah.
Man. Like, it's all good.
Hey,
dude.
look, if an hour in we got what we need and somebody's like, dude, want to smoke a joint, have some beers, and then record another one, I'll be like, yes.
Yeah.
Because it's done.
Because we did it.
We did-
Exactly.
it's done.
It's not
my
like a-
responsibility.
Dude, if you work at
Gone.
if you work at an office, bro, they're like, do some paperwork. You're not gonna fucking smoke some weed and drink and then be like, oh, I guess I could start on it. You know, like, no, you're gonna do it and then you're gonna fucking go
No,
to
you'll
lunch,
get
bro.
fired really fucking
Exactly,
quick. If
bro.
that's
It's
the case, dude.
it's a fucking like it's a job.
Well,
you know?
there is something to knowing, like, I've done also a number of gigs as a vocalist, which cracks me up.
Yeah.
I look,
Like pure vocalist.
pure vocalist.
Okay.
I am a good singer, but I genuinely, I'm like, why are you hiring me over someone else? You know,
Okay.
like as like an actual, probably because I'm cheaper.
Sure.
No, that is it.
Yeah.
And whatever, though, I go in and they're just like, oh my God, did you warm up? I'm like, no, I
Yeah.
drank all night last night. Like, but again, to speak to earlier, the fact is that I'm just I'll be like, after I finish a take, I won't wait for them to say anything. I'll be like, anything about that felt funky to you? Because I'll tell you, like, this one part, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Could you tell me what that's about? This one part, how do you feel about what I'm doing there? Because I could hear 10 different ways to voice that.
But
you
it's
know?
better than being the guy that doesn't say anything and then they're like, yeah, that one part, it's not good.
Well,
You're
even
like,
that,
"What
maybe,
part,
hey,
man?"
maybe they're on a time crunch and they're like, dude, you're good. And then 3 weeks later, they're just like, we're not happy.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
it.
That's
You
like,
know,
let's
it's
max,
like,
let's, what's it called? Efficient fucking.
yeah,
hardware,
and look, I'm
efficiency.
trying to help you get what you need.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like a lot of people like, dude, I think it's the same thing with in any situation in life, but you got to communicate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely,
you
yeah.
got to know, like,
What is that?
What you
Some kind
want-
of, what is that, a Korean word?
Communicate?
Communicate? That's Korean, right? I don't know what that means.
communicate is not
I don't know what
feel
that
like that's
word
like,
means.
I feel like it's like Greek.
No, I don't know what that word means. I don't think that's a real word.
Oh, I see. for sure.
Communication?
It's the same as,
Yeah, like, I just think...
sobriety, dude.
Yeah. It's just an unsavory, like it sounds, it's just unsavory. I don't know what it means, but I don't like it. Yeah, a lot of it comes down to communication.
But you got to talk.
Well, do you think it's maybe especially in musical scenarios, because look, I think from talking to you for a while,
Yeah.
we can maybe both go, okay, of course it's communication.
Sure.
That's an obvious concept.
Yeah.
But to a lot of people, considering that if you work, the more people you work with, the more you realize, like, this could be a really easy problem to solve, but you're just
Yeah.
fucking it up because of some weird thing. I feel like a lot of people don't take that for granted, maybe the way we do. Like, yes, you got to communicate.
It's hard for people, man.
Yeah, why?
It's a mental block.
In a musical, is it ego?
It's ego.
Yeah.
But it's also like that we all have different ears.
Yeah.
So like how we think.
Yes. Yeah.
Like if you like name 2 artists you like. Like just off the top of your head, don't think about it.
I don't know any, actually. It's the
That's
weirdest
kind of a
thing.
weird- It's like when you name your 3 favorite movies right now. Like you can't do it. you know?
Soundgarden and Frank Zappa.
Okay, so I love Soundgarden.
Okay.
So we overlap there. I don't
noticed,
like Frank Zappa.
I noticed you didn't like Frank Zappa.
Yeah, so I'll fucking add in like a weird like I like the Beatles.
We can agree on. Yeah, I
but
like
I'm
the
saying
Beatles.
like, but now
Yeah.
it's like my perspective on that
Yeah.
is a little bit skewed than yours, and I'm not willing to compromise because I have such a fucking like ear to it, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Expectation, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I find playing in bands is really hard.
So it's got to be ego with people.
Yeah.
Then when you're just
Has
like,
to
dude,
be.
play it this way,
Yeah.
and people are like, no, that doesn't sound good. It's like, yeah, to you.
But sometimes like you find that right chemistry where you're like, all of you guys are like, yeah. That's
Well, it's incredibly rare to find that.
exactly.
And I've
commend
actually with
everyone in a band, dude.
that band that just walked back through the hall, Karma Vulture. They, not that we don't have an our protected studio environment here. It's
Yeah.
very professional. But the idea, yeah. Well, that's why when you find a good group, like that's why I like when you were talking about Miles Davis, because it's like whatever kind of whacked out frequency that dude was on,
yeah.
he kind of got it right with a lot of things. Like he hired the right people.
Exactly.
And
That inspired him, you know?
exactly. And maybe he did that because like, okay, we're not going to have like, look, we have this project to do and we're not going to have a problem making it. Like
Exactly.
everybody has strengths and weaknesses, but this group of people works together. And like, dude, good bands tend to be the ones who can fucking sustain a relationship of any
Dude,
form.
bands
I
are
mean,
marriages. They say it like that's the fucking quote, right? Like bands are marriages.
one of my girlfriend's best friends was like, I met the dude a while ago, lifelong best friends. And I
Yeah.
was like, you're not in a band anymore? He's a bassist. And
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, I just got tired of being married to like 3 other people.
That's true. Though,
Fucking
man.
A.
Bands are hard, man, and that's why
Yeah.
like the model has shifted,
Yeah.
where it's like an artist makes a song and then like he hires people. You know?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But like I still look at like a band like the Eagles,
Yeah.
who are still around, or the Foo Fighters who are still around.
Yeah.
Bro. They're the same to me, bro. They're
Yeah.
awesome, bro. They're friends. They're homies.
They're cool.
It's like you gotta chill with them and like you want to hear them fucking rock out, man. Like
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing is you want to hang with these
Yeah,
people. Kind
exactly.
You want to just like.
that's why you buy into the whole notion of bands. It's a
Exactly.
group of people, man.
Exactly, man. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, that's where the party's at.
Exactly.
Well, and that's been like you were asking about like the marketing behind, rock. Well, actually, you didn't phrase it that way. I kind of put it that way.
Yeah.
But you're just like, oh, the rock thing. What's up with the whole like, it's just about like you want to offer something to people that they want, but they don't necessarily have. I mean,
Yeah.
it is it. And look, if you've freed your mind enough to be able to play like awesome, like music is a language.
Yeah.
So if you've freed your mind enough to be able to communicate in such a free way, I do have something to offer to you. And
Yeah.
it's not an arrogant. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else. I'm just saying like to non-musicians especially, it's like this
Dude,
is a language. It's kind of a tribal
Do
thing.
you agree with me in the fact that like it seems like to me like maybe Josh Loney just walked in the door.
Yeah, there we go. Come on.
Come on in. I got a question for both of you
Come
guys.
on
dude.
over.
Yeah. So the question I had, Josh Loney, ladies and gentlemen.
Josh Loney.
We got just a vibrator that you want,
Whoa.
Little Hitachi,
Ladies and gentlemen.
You're welcome.
That's
But like the question I had was, dude, sometimes I have like this. If I hear like good music, good band live, it doesn't matter who it is or what kind of music it is. I get these physical reactions.
Yeah,
to
of
it.
course.
I get vibrations. I get fucking goosebumps. Right?
There's a French word for that, actually.
What's the French word for that?
Let me-
Josh.
Starts with an F.
As he looks at the question I was wondering is
ennui.
only
Wrong.
a certain ennui.
That is literally like the opposite.
Oh.
Do you guys think that there's, in terms of music, like, if there's one uniting factor in a lot of humanity, like, do you think it's like a little bit deeper than just sonic vibrations?
Yes.
And what is that?
I don't know.
That's what I'm wondering.
I don't
too.
know,
Yeah,
but
I don't know either.
here's the thing is I'm probably not qualified to know what that is.
I don't think that's fair though. I think everyone is. At a certain
Maybe,
point,
maybe. Okay, but my point is even if I'm not the one to say what that is, I think it's there, and I think it's yes. Is there some force above all of humanity that we can't understand? Sure, in the form of music. Yeah, man. That's I'm not
Just
a
'cause of the
religious
physical sensation, bro.
dude. Seriously, I'll hear bad music, and people are like, "Dude, what's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm angry," and people are like, "Why?" I'm like, "Cause this is bad. This makes me upset."
Yeah.
And good music.
It's called frisson. Frisson.
Ugh.
It's the feeling of
I like
chills.
ennui
Oh,
better.
yeah. It's the feeling of chills that you get from music
Frisson.
or art in general.
Oh,
Really?
yeah, ennui.
And I've had that
Frisson.
feeling so often.
Ennui.
I think personally that what that
French
feeling
fries.
is-
Frisson, je m'appelle.
Je m'appelle. Je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. Anyways, none of us speak French.
Yes,
yeah.
No, I think that there's. Look, music is a language that.
Yeah.
Did you get nitrous? Did you?
Wish. No, I wish.
Oh man. Yeah, music is a get the fuck out of the kitchen.
I gotta put my fucking.
Oh, no, the studio. Sorry. Music is a. Look, to me, I think actually Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age
Yeah.
said something like, "Yeah, music is kind of the thing that you can't put into words."
Yeah.
You know, and I agree. Yeah, music has. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I was like thinking like to build off like music is something you can't put in the words. What do you think about the difference between instrument? Why do you write music with words then?
Yeah,
Instrument-
exactly. Well, that's where I was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
going. Is kind of like, well, then why put lyrics in? Look,
Yeah.
probably my favorite writers, like I think Bob Dylan's
Yeah.
you hate him or love him. I think he's
I
a
love
great.
Dylan,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
huge Dylan fan,
Yeah.
so I'm
Do you know
happy to
Mike
hear that.
Bloomfield? I'm a huge Mike
Yeah.
Bloomfield friend. Yeah.
So Dylan strings words together beautifully. Do they always make sense?
No, dude. Do you know the song Tombstone Blues?
Yeah, that's one
Where
of
it's
my
like
favorites.
the fucking the sun's not
I'm
hot. it's
in the
chi-
corner with the
Tombstone.
Tombstone Blues.
Like the sun's not hot. It's chicken.
yeah,
dude.
the sun's
Yeah.
not yellow. It's chicken.
That's the best, man. Fuck, man. I'll drink to that, man.
What, Bob? You heard me.
How many times can a cannonball fly? Bob Dylan.
It's fucking great.
Oh, man.
No, but I mean, it's a look. I think words belong in music for
No,
sure.
definitely,
I
dude.
also love wordless music. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all just part of music, though. I'm not.
Yeah. Dude, the reason I think like
Yeah.
words belong is because like it's like that's a tradition of music, man. Like the troubadours in like the
It is.
15th century or
Yeah.
whatever in the village.
Sure.
They sang songs, bro. Like they,
It's spoken poetry
exactly,
or
man. Like,
sung poetry,
Yeah.
musical poetry. Okay, wait. I need to do this stupid.
Let's do it.
What was the fucking thing you asked me about before the break? It's not gonna matter now.
Little Joy.
Oh, Little Joy.
Okay, to wrap this whole thing up, I asked the question earlier. You might not remember because if you're still hanging out with us now, you're probably fucked up too.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah,
actually,
seriously.
And also,
I commend
you're,
that.
you're actually just gonna like whatever we say.
Yeah, but anyways, so as we talk about all these venues that are closing in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
there's one in particular that I saw on social media that
Yeah.
you guys weren't too friendly with. I
Um.
was kind of wondering what the whole situation was.
Oh, dude, I think the venue was fine.
Yeah.
So is Little Joy in Echo Park,
Uh-huh.
and you know I've been in there a million times. Every Echo Park Rising, we play somewhere, and we go in there, and that's usually our favorite band's playing.
Yeah.
Is it my favorite venue or bar? Nope, I don't miss it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a scene place where a lot of scene kids hang. So I went in there as a hired dude, with one of my buddy's bands, and I had just toured with them.
Yeah.
We went in there to do a show, and I showed up, and this dude who's had a beef with me, his name's Johnny C. Fuentes. He is 100% the dude you talk to. He had a problem with me,
Okay.
and I went in, and I was like, "Hey, man."
Is
He's
he
like,
the sound guy?
yeah, he's a sound guy,
Okay.
and he also books the shows.
Okay.
So he
yeah.
had something every Tuesday night, and then every Tuesday and something like that.
Okay.
And I was just kind of like, okay. I just kind of went in, and I was like, hey, man, where do I put my stuff? And he's
Yeah.
like, The Absurd's not playing here tonight. I'm like, that's true.
Yeah.
And he's like, who you playing with? I'm like, you know, da-da-da.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I guess you can just throw your shit over there. Literally, like word for word, that's pretty much it. And I was
Yeah.
like, sick, man.
Okay. Real professional.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
You don't want me here, you know, like
yeah, that's fair.
probably contact the people who are hiring me, man. Like, you're making them look worse than me. Of
Yeah,
course.
I'm here to do a job, you know. Like,
Yeah, I'm fucking persona non grata already.
Yeah.
You know, like what? Anyway, so we play the show, whatever.
Yeah. Was it a good show?
No.
Okay.
It was a
sorry that happened to you.
it was a show of
Why was it not a good show, man?
it was show of non-binary people for Bernie Sanders or something and some other stuff, and it was just like something where it's like I'm here
Politics,
I'm
dude.
here to play drums, dude.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here to do.
Okay.
I'm not wearing a fucking America shirt or anything. I'm just here to play drums.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Oh,
whatever,
they knew
man.
you.
Yeah, the dude
Ah,
knew me
I
from
see.
before. The dude just hated me for years.
That's a little unfair.
For reasons that look. So here's how it culminated. We played. It's that tiny back room at Little
Yeah,
Joy.
yeah, yeah.
You know that room?
Yeah.
Impossible to mic things in there.
Of course.
I thought he did a good job, actually. While I was on stage, I was like, I could hear everything. While I was in the crowd listening to other bands, I was like, that's pretty good sound,
Yeah.
considering the circumstances. So I went up to him after, put out my hand. I was like, hey, man, don't know what the beef is, but I just wanted to tell you you did a good job.
Okay.
And he goes, yeah, come with me. And I'm like,
Okay.
for sure. So he brings me outside. Josh is out there because he's there to see it. And
Yeah.
Josh, come over here. Josh looks at me. He's like, I'm like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. He didn't give me any context. So he goes, okay, here's the thing. I think you guys are pieces of shit. I think you're fucking assholes. I never fucking want to see you around here again. Had I known you were playing in this band, I would have told you, I would have told the bar to not let you in. I would have told the bouncer, yada, yada, yada.
Jesus.
Goes through a lot more shit. The dude is 1.5 feet shorter than me. I'm
Yeah.
like, for sure, man. You know, whatever.
Yeah. Holy
Some-
shit, man.
Yeah.
Did you guys play there before? Was there a
Nope.
problem there?
No.
It's purely off of social media?
Yep. I got nothing
Little
else to
back-
say.
Yeah, I have
got nothing else to say. That's
fuck,
just
man.
yes.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
a
whatever.
little
We went
backwards.
through some talking.
Yeah, of course.
Sure, I made some good points. Of course not. Nothing. There's no discussion to be had. And he went over to the bouncer. Some chick came up to me and was like, "You really made that band better as a drummer." I'm like,
Thank you, man.
and then Johnny starts going, "He's a piece of shit. And I'm like, yeah. And I just start talking over. I'm like, hey man, this guy's gonna tell you I'm awful.
yeah.
I don't know what to do. And I talk over him enough that he just leaves and goes to talk to the bouncer. And I can see him talking to the bouncer and they're looking at me. So I go over to the bouncer
Yeah.
and the dude, Johnny, just walks away. I'm like, motherfucker, I came here to talk to you and him. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking pussy. Like, get out of here, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I have no problem calling people that word, by the way, because if you act like that, that's what you deserve to get called. Like,
Yeah.
anyway, the bouncer talked to me and he's like, so what happened? I kind of told him and he's like, okay, I didn't see you do anything wrong. I'm like, okay, good, because I still have a tab open in there.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to get my credit card.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to kick you out. I'm like, okay. So I go back in. I go, yeah, see you,
What
Johnny.
is he in terms of like the hierarchy of that entire establishment?
Uh,
Is he just
he-
the booker?
He books a night there.
but
One
he's
night.
not like he doesn't work there.
No.
So like the fucking people who work there can have a totally different opinion. It wouldn't matter.
No, and hey, look, it was probably my fault for taking it out on Little Joy.
No, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm not attacking that. I'm saying like where does he stand in terms of like pushing his authority? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I think dude, I literally think it's little guy syndrome, and not to rip on little guys, because
As a fellow little guy, I
you're a
take no
strong
offense.
community. I know this, yeah. But
Dude, I don't think I have that, dude.
no, you don't.
Yeah, I'm like very just happy with what I am.
No,
dude.
but look, you can. I mean, isn't it obvious when a 6'3" guy tells how tall are you? 5'4"?
5'5" on a
Did
good
I nail
day.
it? Okay, 5'5" on a good day. When I'm here just being like, yo,
Yeah.
you're really good at guitar, dude. Can you teach me? Like, doesn't that kind of obviate the fact that, like, yeah, that kind of ego shit isn't happening here. Packs a punch. So anyway, that's the story.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It created a lot of
It's stupid,
stuff.
but it happened, which is what's weird
Yeah.
to me. It sounds like something you would have made up, like or anyone could have made up.
It
and just
sounds
been
like something that look, if I actually told you all the details and didn't just summarize it, you would think it was even more ridiculous. It was
Yeah.
crazy, dude. And like, hey man,
But I know I've seen that guy in like whoever Johnny, right?
He's an unhappy person.
Yeah, and I've seen that, you know.
Yeah, he's
so
a
I'm like,
miserable, you know.
I can see him behaving in a whatsoever, right?
What do I care?
To me, it's like humans don't get divided into many dichotomies besides you're a kind person and an unkind person.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing is, the people I was playing with, I can't say their names, so they went up and talked to him after I left, and they were like, "Hey, man, what's your deal with Ben?" You know, and Johnny was just like, "I don't want to talk about it." And these are good friends of mine, and they were like,
"We should probably talk about it.
Do you want to talk about it?" And he's just like, "I don't fucking know anything to anybody." It's like, okay, so you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk to him. Yeah. Like, the whole point of me was just, I was just like, dude, what did I do to piss you off? Yeah. And he's like, I don't owe you an explanation. I'm like, you're right, you don't. But if you don't give me an explanation, I can't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. He just kept being like, you know who you are. Look in a mirror. I'm like, okay, but I don't I don't regret really anything that I've done. So you're gonna like, I stand by.
You're gonna have to give me some guy points.
I'm not even saying that I'm like arrogant or anything. I'm just saying, like, I don't regret being me. So what are you talking about, dude? Yeah. If it's a specific status that I posted or something, bring it up, man. I'm happy to talk about it. Like, he just wouldn't, and he wouldn't even to the other guys. So anyway,
well, I mean, if this is, I think I owe you another drink, man. But
no, maybe.
But I feel like if this is anything, man, I feel like we talked for a long time, man. But I feel like if this is anything, whether we have differences in whatever, and I don't really feel like we have a lot of differences.
We probably don't.
But it's probably healthy to just have conversation, period. And I hope that never dies.
You get the fuck out of my apartment.
All right. I don't want to talk to you.
Unbelievable.
God damn it, dude.
All right, we got not much time left, but I'm going to ask you a final question.
Right.
Yeah.
That's your final question.
You ready?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to do some, like, push-ups or jumping jacks?
I just fucking did a stretch back. I think that's
the same as push-ups?
Yeah, that's enough for me, dude. In this day and age, dude.
All right. So, final question, easy. Yeah. Basically, it's a desert island question. It's if you only had to take 5 artists to a desert island.
Artists or albums?
Artists.
Okay, artists, okay.
And I realized the way I was framing it early on, very unclear. Artists.
Okay.
This includes their whole discography.
Yeah.
I would even be willing to extend this to things they've featured on.
Okay.
If you want.
Sure.
You're a jazz guy, so you probably have to factor that in.
Sure.
Yeah. So 5 artists you couldn't live without. The catch is you don't get to listen to any other artist.
Okay, so this is the 5 for the rest of my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. And look, it's an unanswerable question, as you know. So, who now are you just kind of like, oh, shit?
Yeah. Man, that's a great question, dude. Holy shit.
It's a question that can't be answered properly. So, yeah, those are the most fun.
I guess. Well, Miles, right?
Okay.
Has to be up there, right?
Yeah.
I talk so much about him. Yeah. And also, there's a lot.
Mumble into the mic. Mumble into the
mic. Miles Davis. He's got a great discography.
All right.
Man, dude. I've been really into Red Hot Chili Peppers again.
I love Chili Peppers.
They got a great discography.
What's your favorite Chili Peppers album?
Dude, it used to be fucking Blood Sugar, of course.
Okay.
Classic. I guess it's a little cliche, but right now it's By the Way.
By the Way was my original favorite, and then Stadium Arcadium is probably my favorite.
Dude, I heard Zephyr's song for the first time in my life today.
Fly away on my Zephyr. Hey, this is Anthony Kiedis' vocal mic.
I kept that on repeat for like 12 times.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
I love that album and that song.
So I'll put Chili.
That was a hit.
It was, yeah. And like, By the Way, it's on there. Dude, Universally Speaking. Yeah, I love that song, bro. That's like the ultimate song.
A lot of people hate that who loved Blood Sugar Sex Magic because they're like, dude, they're selling out. It's like, what you mean?
They sound so good, though,
making great refined music?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah.
They sound so good,
Get the fuck out of here.
It's like, they kept doing refining it, dude. And they pinnacled that fucking, Stadium Arcadium or some shit, dude.
Stadium Arcadium is my favorite.
Californication is great too.
Dude, they've probably made 5 albums that are amazing. Who are you gonna say?
Ready-Made, that song, Ready-Made.
Ready-Made.
I love that song, man. I love that song, man.
Dude, Stadium Arcadium is my favorite Chili Peppers album.
Oh man, so I got 3 more artists, man.
Who'd you get? Chili Peppers, First one was
Damn, I'd probably have to get like a blues.
Who's your first one? Miles, yeah.
Chili Peppers. I
Okay.
probably get like blues guys in there, dude. I'd probably get the Almond Brothers.
Almond Brothers, okay. Connor's huge on the Almond Brothers.
Yeah,
it's funny.
I'm a big fan. So we were talking about it for me. I'm like, it's you don't meet a lot of them when you do. We all talk the same. You know, it's fucking funny, dude.
Huh.
Yeah, just cause like that kind of covers the rock, blues, everything. You know.
Yeah.
Gotta get some hip hop in there.
He was trying to convince me that like Dwayne Allman was almost as influential as Hendrix on guitarist. So I'm like,
dude, when Rolling Stone made their list, he was number 2.
yeah,
Fuck
that.
Okay, so like Hendrix had a thing, but Dwayne's whole thing is like he died early on, and it's more of like he could have been the biggest, you know, like.
But he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, Hendrix died when he was 27.
Yeah, I'm just saying they both died at the same age.
When did Dwayne Allman die?
27.
27?
Yeah, they both died at the same age, but like it was like.
Really?
They both offered different things. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, dude.
Man, I had no idea he was that young, dude.
Yeah, he was really young when he died.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, he had a motorcycle crash too. You know.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
I assume though, if you're riding a motorcycle, you're probably like 37. You're having kind of a midlife crisis thing.
Exactly. You're buying a Porsche like James Dean. Dude. So I guess if I get the Allman Brothers, do I also get like Layla and Derek and the Dominoes and shit that in there, right?
If you got Dwayne Allman,
on there,
sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a new caveat to this game.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's some fucking smart thinking. Yeah.
All right, cover my grounds, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, man. I like really love fucking. I love Jay-Z. He's one of my favorite artists of all time.
You're gonna take Jay-Z as one of your top 5.
Yeah, I love his entire discography. Like he's Jay-Z. Like, dude, have you heard of the album Kingdom Come? It's like the first time he has a full band on it, not NPC,
I have.
bro. And
Yes, I have.
And you can just hear the drums on it. It's fucking insane, bro. Like, it's
really?
So good. Yeah. Like,
so is it for the musicality of the album that you like it,
I
or
also love Jay-Z.
Jay-Z's artistic direction, kind of?
I do. Like, when I was a kid, like I listened to a lot of rock, but my cousins who were like a few
he's
years
like a
older than me,
fucking business mastermind to me. He knows business.
Yeah. He's got a line. It's like, I'm not a businessman. I'm a business comment man. You know, like,
I'm a businessman.
Yeah. But my cousins like love gangster rap, and they fucking like. I love rap. I love trap. I love pop.
Who are your favorite rappers?
Favorite rappers, dude? Right now, who are alive?
Well, all time.
Okay, that's a good question. But like, I like top 10, no fucking order. I like fucking Big Daddy Kane.
Okay.
I like Ghostface Killah.
I can get down with that.
Yeah, I really like Eminem for sure.
As
much as
I think he might be. I think he might be the best.
He's incredible, bro.
I think he might be the best ever.
I like Lil Wayne on equal level as Eminem. Bro,
I can get down with Lil Wayne for the innovation.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like.
Are you a Kanye fan?
I love Kanye West.
Yeah.
Kanye West is probably in the top 10.
Kanye's pretty close.
Yeah, Kanye's like. This is no order, by the way.
He's
so
fucking
Kanye's
good.
There.
Yeah, I get it.
Jay-Z's there for sure.
Okay.
I got to do like an indulgent one. I like A$AP Rocky a lot. Not more.
Ooh,
not
you like
raps.
the poetic bullshit.
Yeah, I don't really like his raps. I just like him as like just a celebrity.
A$AP Rocky is
tight.
awesome.
Yeah, he's tight as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
If you want to throw one for the young kids, man, I like West Side Gun right now. He just wrote one of the best albums of this year, in my opinion, dude. West Side Gun.
What album
Pray
is
for
that?
Paris.
Okay.
It's Oliver Alchemist and MF Doom beats. He's incredible. He's this trap guy who like just chose to fucking like let's take it back a few years.
I can't even credit trap as a genre, man. I struggle with it.
Dude, trap is like we don't get it because we're old, and I think
I'm
that's
really old if you're saying that.
But I'm saying like we're both removing because like we don't recognize the sounds.
Yeah, they sound like butt.
But I love trap, bro.
I can get down with some trap, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. There's some song like if I'm at a party and it's going down.
Depends which drugs I'm on.
Exactly,
Yeah.
dude.
But if I gotta be on drugs.
Yeah. Dude, I like Biggie.
Yeah.
Biggie Smalls. I like Andre 3000.
I was gonna say, when are the classics coming?
Yeah,
Andre 3000 is awesome.
I like Kendrick Lamar, of course, but he's like kind of an MIA recently. I don't know. I really like rap, dude. Rap's great, dude.
Kendrick, I've been sort of back and forth on. J. Cole was a dude who I was like
great,
into.
dude.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'd have to go back and re-listen to all this shit. I really haven't spent due time with.
Yeah, hip hop is like.
I did for a while, and then I just haven't.
I go
in
through
like
phases,
6 years,
man, where I'm like really into hip hop for like 2 months, and then I'm really into rock for 2 months.
Well, because I'm like that's pure words, you know. Like,
exactly, you have to listen to it,
dude. I'm pretty notes. The whole music isn't words, so I like that.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
But it's kind of incredible how like words are put together in that way.
Yeah. No, I mean
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
I think we're agreed upon that it's a mutual respect. It's just a matter of like,
Oh,
I don't
dude,
bump it all the
dude.
time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Dude, sure, it's not my genre, but does
Yeah.
that mean I fucking think it's
Hell
shit?
no, bro.
Absolutely no, man.
yeah.
No, that
Dude,
shit's
that's why I like talking to you
fucking
guys. bro.
badass,
like,
man.
You guys
Like-
are always like, it's like if I don't know it, I can say that I don't know.
yeah.
You know, like some people like let's say like there's this fucking like Jimmy Kimmel like series where it's like Live Witness News, and they
Yeah.
went around and they're like inventing fake band names.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
you heard the Chelsea Clintons? Oh my god, like they're so good. Their first album
They're
was
my
amazing.
favorite.
Yeah, and you're like, oh my god. And like I think it's like a big thing is like saying I don't know that artist. Can you show me? Can you send him to me? You know?
All right,
It's
so
the
here's a
best part.
fun tip.
Yeah.
When you go on the next podcast or whatever,
Yeah.
if somebody like me goes, what are your top 5 or top whatever,
Yeah.
make up a name.
Yeah. Dude,
And if they
right?
don't call you out, they're fucking full of shit.
True.
Yeah.
Dude. Holy shit. Yeah,
Do
dude.
it, man.
The marble flags. Man.
Yeah.
That's some shit, man.
Yo, you never heard of them? Dude, they're
Yeah,
like,
they're awesome, man. They're like,
they're like underground, but they're like Tijuana's biggest rap rock group. All right, so
just look them up, man. The funny thing is, like, if you probably looked up Marble Flag, there's probably a band called that.
There
now.
definitely
At this
is.
point of the internet.
I've been doing some like solo stuff and shit, and I'm like, it's not really solo. I'm working with other people, so I'm like, what should we call it?
Names are hard.
Bunch of names have been thrown out, and every time I look one up, I'm like, oh, well, there's these assholes from the UK with
Yeah.
123 likes. Who cares?
I'll take 'em,
really?
bro.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Miles Davis, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
Your third was
I don't
Almond
remember.
Brothers.
Almond Brothers. Almond Brothers.
So you got 2 left.
Almond, bro. Holy shit, dude.
Chili Peppers, Miles Davis, Almond Brothers.
I want to say Jay-Z, right?
Yep, Jay-Z. So you got 1
That's
left.
4, 1 left, dude.
Yep.
It's kind of like the self-indulgent one, I guess, at this
Oh,
point, right?
dude, just who
Oh,
cares?
man, dude.
There's no correct way to answer the question. That's the fun about it.
Damn, dude. That's a good question.
Butthole Surfers.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm throwing a band I don't know, dude. Oh, bro. Like, yeah, dude. I
Butthole
go-
Surfers are awesome.
Dude, a
you don't
band-
know.
I know Butthole Surfers.
Okay, yeah, I
A
was
band
gonna
I've
say you know
always
them.
meant to really get into that I never listened to at all was Depeche Mode. I've not heard a single
Knopfler
song.
is fucking ridiculous.
Not heard a
dude.
single song by them. So maybe I'll just.
No,
throw-
you know Sultans of
I probably
Swing.
do. Yeah. What? No, that's Dire Straits. Soul
Who am I?
Swing.
Oh, Depeche Mode.
Mode. Yeah.
Who's the big guy from that?
I have no idea, dude. I just know it's a big name, dude. So I'll just
Shit,
throw
am I
them in
dropping
there,
the
dude.
ball here? I never liked Depeche Mode.
Maybe that's the art. You know, you get.
What
when
song are
you're-
you thinking of?
I have no songs that I know by them. Dude.
So you're
I
just throwing in one because
Yeah, because I don't know anything.
disregard them, throw in another one
There
that
are
you
one that I
actually like. Yeah,
Okay. Holy shit. Okay.
I just I don't fucking know
Um,
Depeche Mode. They come on and I'm just like, ugh.
I feel that, dude. It's like. It's
I don't know
on the
why.
radio song,
I don't
dude.
mean to disregard you guys. I just
Dude, here's a wild card.
I don't know what's
I
wrong.
like Bruce Springsteen a lot.
Springsteen's awesome.
And he's
What
got
do
a
you-
huge, yeah, I love Bruce Springsteen.
Look
bro.
around my apartment for one
Yeah,
sec.
Born in the USA.
Do you think
bro.
I hate
Dude,
Springsteen?
Born,
Yeah.
like fucking Jungle Land.
Born in the USA.
Dude, when he's like city girls in the
Yeah.
sitting on the front of a Dodge,
Yeah,
drinking
come
warm
on.
beers and I think that's like beautiful, bro.
See that butt on the background of Red Stripes?
Born in the USA, dude.
Yeah, that'll be the vinyl of
Yeah, I'll
Bruce
take Bruce.
Springsteen. All right,
I'll take
Bruce.
So I
Okay.
think that's my 5. dude.
You
So
got an
it's-
Americana motherfucker on there. I'm glad.
Yeah, I love Bruce,
Yeah.
bro. Bruce takes me like.
Gotta
to
have
my
some of those
childhood,
fucking
bro.
rootsy,
Bruce also talks about things in no way that anyone other person can.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, I also
Like
saw a
his thing.
cover of him doing Lord's Royals. Worst cover I've ever seen.
Wait, so we gotta be royal? That's on dude?
Yeah, he sang it like this. So we gotta be royals.
no,
Yeah,
dude.
it was really bad.
That's awful.
Remarkably bad.
Shit, dude.
Anyway, Sean Lee, thank you for doing the podcast,
Ben,
dude.
always a pleasure, my friend.
Super fucking happy. Very excited to something, whatever. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Wasted Potential. There you go. Look at us waste.
Potential.
Yeah, whatever. Good night.
Peace.
Or good morning. Where are you? I don't know.
Oh yeah, man. You know what those Johnny Carson handshakes we're like talking about?
No, you gotta do the look, you step in with the opposite leg, you kinda go. Oh, it's great talking to you. Oh, fantastic talking to you. Hey, come on. Anytime.
That was great, man.
Yeah, that was
Thank you for having me.
very good shit, man. Thank you for coming.